Leave the shadows on the past behind. Let it run through your veins, take them all down. It is time to reveal your true face.
Hey, yo!
And I will
Be an acolyte of the God Gamer. Hey, 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 yo! For a sign.
take me to your altar. Make me a believer.
Hey, yo! Good to, is my audio? Good. Hello, good to see you. Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast. My goodness gracious. Good to see you. Good Minecraft Implosion and Tyler Creative and Omnavius and Lightsworn Shadow and Dr. Sodium and Quare Kep and Emo Slayer and Polemic and Skeptican and Hat Matter and etc. Let me get this camera all adjusted. This is a shocker, but it's a little blurry. That's never happened on the stream before. Hello. Good to fucking see you. What's poppin'? Data Framing, thank you for the 28. Emaneski, thank you for the Prime. How was your weekend? How was your weekends? Mic too quiet. I think it's too loud. If any, are you being sarcastic? Pengag, thank you for the 44. Claude was down all day, so I had to actually do work. Fuck me. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that, Peng. Big A, when the sun was so hot today, my tools were burning my hands. Yeah, but think of this. It could be worse. You could be a streamer. Like, I understand that sounds difficult, but imagine if you had to, like, go live, like, hit the go live button. That shit would be painful. Do you understand? It could always be worse. It's the hardest job there is. It's the hardest job there is. K the G, thank you for the Prime. I'm not going to say your name, but thank you for the Prime. 27 months. I left the go live button out in the sun. Whenever you're out in the oil fields, remember the streamers. That's what they tell them. That's what they tell them. Anyway, folks, how was your Sunday? How was your Monday? I know that I'm normally not live on Tuesday. Normally I'm live on Monday, but because of Aiden's Counter-Strike event, we moved the recording of our podcast one day early, and we did it yesterday. And so thus spoke Zarathustra, and we are now live. It's Sloan, thank you for the Prime. Guidance Week, thank you for the 8 months. Baruda Dial. We also uploaded a Twinks in cars singing karaoke. I don't know what to call it, but me and Aiden just put a camera in the car on a road trip recently and recorded a podcast, and it was just me and him. Emperor Star, that's on Lemonade Stand. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what is this? My goodness. Bionicle versus Ninjago on, I don't know what Death Battle is. Death Battle, Bionicle versus Ninjago. What the fuck is Death Battle? You guys can watch this together with me and get my live reaction because I don't know what the fuck this is.
It was the year 2000, and the Lego company was in shambles. Straddled with debt and risking closure, they needed a brand new idea to turn things around.
Okay.
They needed something
Yeah,
epic,
Bionicle, we know this.
Something that was Lego, but for big kids who loved lore. Enter Bionicle.
Bionicle begins on the island of Matanui.
Wait, this is just explaining Bionicle? I know Bionicle. I know it better than any man. I've watched 9 hours of lore.
Arrived at the homeland of
So what are they doing? What does that mean? You've never seen Death Battle? Is that not apparent?
at the homeland.
Do you think that I'm going to secretly reveal that I've watched a lot of Death Battle? I don't know. I haven't watched it. I don't know what it is. Watch one? All right, let's go to the most popular Death Battles. Bowser versus Eggman. No, wait. These are all sneak peek. The sneak peeks get way more views than the actual videos. Rick versus the Doctor. This is okay. This is like epic rap battles of history. Is that what this is? Dude, what the... Bro, I have scrolled down so far and there's not a single... Here. What is this? You have to pay for it? Chat, what am I fucking looking at? Okay. Joker versus Sweet Tooth. I don't want to pay for it, bro. I don't want to pay for it. Dude, all the most popular videos are members only. Okay, I have to go latest. I have to go. Oh, I think I clicked members only like an idiot. Never mind. Okay. Goku vs. Superman, the original classic death battle. This is the perfect one. Okay, this will tell me everything I need to know. They're 30 minutes long?
Born to dying races and sent to brave new worlds, these two alien saviors are legendary.
And everybody wants to know who would kick whose ass in a fight.
Okay.
And I mean
I mean, it's obviously Superman, right? End of the day, it's gotta be Big Soup. It's gotta be Superman.
One.
Goku, the tenacious Super Saiyan.
And Superman, the Man of Steel.
So
To ensure
wrong.
no questions are left
Goku,
unanswered,
Obvi.
we will be acknowledging every official resource for both combatants. Though the original writings hold precedence, no
Okay, is it like just a breakdown? I'm sorry, what is this?
form would be trumped by his final transformation, Super Saiyan 4. This form alters his body to better endure the 4,000 times power increase.
Complete with pink fur and eyeshadow. Fear the
Plus, well,
Okay.
Goku's not until
Okay, it's like Reddit nerd debates, but they made a video out of it. That's what it is. It's like them just explaining. They argue about it. Okay, all right.
strength and durability with ki.
But even though his ki reserve cannot be measured, we can determine his maximum output. See, his ki attacks do not force him backward unless he allows them to.
Even when firing upward at full power, the ground beneath him remains untouched.
Therefore, according to physics, his maximum output is at most equal to the amount of force he can withstand.
Luckily, we just calculated that with the Zero Bomb.
Alright, now that we've determined Goku's maximum potential, let's compare it to Superman.
Holy shit! Not even close.
Now, we can
That's
keep
not even
throwing
close.
feats and equations around, but in the end, numbers cannot measure what Goku and Superman are capable of. They are both ultimate heroes, solutions to daunting problems, and achievers of the impossible.
But I was right.
The difference is at the core of their character. Goku has never been invincible. He has very clear limits and must overcome those limits to solve the problems at hand. That's the whole point. On the other hand, Superman's story is not
I like this channel now. I was ready to call it Nerd Slop, but now that they agree with me, I think they're based. I think they have really smart takes. They actually do the research. The thing about them is they do the research. Watch the battle. Okay. This is cinema? Holy! Oh my god, the animations are crazy. Okay, why wouldn't he just bring kryptonite? That's what everyone else does. Okay, well, there's no real winners then in this fight. But Superman survives.
It's over. It's finally over.
Okay. No, that's cool. That is beast. And they've been doing this for 13 years? Damn, that's sick, actually. They found a niche. Deadpool versus Deathstroke, Batman v Spider-Man. How would that be close? God, Mario versus Sonic. Terminator v RoboCop. These all look kind of interesting, high key. I bet I could guess them. Caps getting into the Hall of Legends, the second Hall of Legend after Faker. It proves that it's possible for a Westerner. Are you feeling confident in your chances? Yeah, I do think they'll eventually get to me. I think they're just trying to give some space between Faker's induction and my induction because we're so similar. You know what I'm saying? We're both godlike mid laners. We're both pioneers of the game, and especially around season 3. And it's like, it'll be almost a repeat. 2 goats. You got to leave some breathing room. Can't have the 2 best statues in the museum beside each other. Yeah, exactly. Fucking exactly. It's like Jordan passing the torch to LeBron. Have you heard that Trump switched sides in Korea? Yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, it's in the title, bro. Caps didn't deserve it at all. Well, that's the problem I said. So if you guys don't know, the League of Legends Hall of Fame was started where they give you like a really fancy skin and they induct them in the Hall of Fame and they have like a special sale and everything. But the problem that not just I, but everyone said is like there's only one real person in the Hall of Fame of League of Legends, and it's Faker. Everyone else is such a big gap. So all subsequent entries are going to be more and more disappointing. Or like they're going to be fine, but it's like Faker is so much more accomplished than everyone else. So they're already dealing with that. Basketball Hall of Fame is just LeBron? No. No, it's not. No. Should be. As a true bronze sexual would say it should be. But it's not. What is this? Oh. Wait until Bronny gets in the LCS? Yeah, I think so. Are you scared of Kusher owning the Lakers now? Bro. Scared. I'm annoyed. I'm not scared. I'm not like cowering in fear. I just don't like it. I don't support it. I'm not happy with it. But I'm almost more annoyed about Bob Iger, bro. Well, I guess I'm not more annoyed with Bob Iger, but I am bothered. Because Bob Iger is on camera, on record, saying he's not a Lakers fan. It's not in his DNA. And now he owns the Lakers. Bro, he has that. There's a clip of Bob Iger saying, yeah, I grew up in New York. I'm a Knicks fan. Loving the Lakers is just not in my DNA. I'm more of a Clippers fan when I go to Los Angeles. And now, years later, he owns the Lakers. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? What does being a fan have to do with owning the team? Dude, well, did Bob Iger pay you? Why you got to cape this hard? You can't think about why someone being a fan of the team might help? So it's not just a billionaire extraction plot? There's some, like at the very least, Steve Ballmer's a fan of the damn Clippers. It's like saying you don't like FPS games and interviewing Valorant. Yeah, it's exactly like that. They didn't give me the job. They shouldn't have given him the job. New cheating tool just dropped. AI detectors in shambles. Yeah, I talked about this on LS yesterday. It'll come out tomorrow. But I talked about how all of the AI, not all of them, but like Claude announced recently. What do they call it? They announced this. This. They announced text watermarks. And basically, like the random generation of the text in a certain order can be provably traced back to their seed or whatever in the AI. So they can they can like watermark text by the way the words are written. And I thought this is a really cool thing because it would be great to live in a world where all AI text and images are marked so you can know, so that the audience knows at least, hey, I'm reading, this is from Claude or whatever. But then I said on the show, I was like, the second they announced this, people started canceling and moving to different services because the user of these products wants to disguise that they're using AI. That is what the use case is. People that make text with AI do not want it to be watermarked. They're all either cheating or whatever. They just don't want it to be watermarked. And so the market reaction is going to be either Claude backs down or services start to pop up that AI wash text where you feed watermark text into it and it scrambles it so that, I'm like, that's what's happening. I mean, you're sending me this example of a thing that's like that. People want it. So, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the use case is that. The only real way you could get around it is maybe government regulation. We talked about that in the pod, which is like if the government mandated that all LLMs have a watermark that can at least be like checked against, that you could put into a thing and which that would be cool. But that's like the only way I see it working. And even then, people would start using like Chinese models or whatever. So it's a bit spoiling the pod episode. Do the pod episode? I'll spoil it right now. It's called the War and Peace episode because when we were doing the research, we ended up with exactly half our topics being really depressing about ongoing wars. And so we said, okay, let's just do every time that we have a depressing war topic, we follow it with a lighthearted one. So it's war, then nice topic, then war, then nice topic, then war. It's whiplash. It's an emotional whiplash episode. I think we, at one point, Aiden does like a really, really sad update on what's going on in Sudan, and it's genuinely heartbreaking. And then we jump over to like, like short form micro dramas coming out of China are kind of goofy. It's great. It's great. It's a true whiplash episode. And I think it was a good idea. I think it was a fun idea. Tutti Fruity on Rudy, thank you for the prime. Madman Chris, thank you for the prime. For the 11 months, appreciate that. Clocks for sale, thank you for the 24. Fruit Bowl, thank you for the tier 1. Sam Dude, thank you for the 12 months. Mr. Moo Cow, thank you for the prime. Koyoyoy Val, thank you for the 37. Happy 37 months, Big A. Sheesh. Appreciate it, Bob Jando. Thank you for the prime. Oh, hey, I got an offer I wanted to ask you guys about. If it's good content or not. Somebody messaged me on Twitter DMs saying, hey, I'm a young guy who got into Y Combinator for my robotics startup. Could you help me make a video for it? It would be good content for you, is what they said. Now, it sounds like I'm just doing work for them. I don't know if that's, but it is also kind of funny. It's also kind of a funny idea. Do you get free things? Yeah, I'm going to shark him. I'm going to get equity. I'll make you a video and I get 10%, bro. Plus royalties on every robot sold. Is it evil robotics? I don't know. I don't know. If it's evil robotics, I want 15%. I have standards, okay? If it's evil robotics, I want 15. If it's curing cancer robotics, I'll do it for 10. That's my deal. Watch the video to find out. Are you following along this conversation at all, Armadillo T? I can't watch the video. I have to make the video. They don't have a video for me to watch. I don't know. Could be interesting. Could be the move. Could be the wave. Could be the wave. I got my thesis defense tomorrow. Any tips? Chat, any tips? I know you've all defended a thesis. Drop your banger tips. Ask Grok, go aggro. Hey, the best defense is a good offense. So go out there, and when they ask you questions about your thesis, be like, what the fuck? What about you? You dress like shit. Why are you wearing that? Like, start attacking. Go on the attack. Where's your fucking thesis, idiot? Do that. It's like fucking, you gotta put the pressure on. And then when they're responding to you, like, wait, well, what's, then you've burned time. And then before you know it, your whole hour's up, and you're like, hey, well, that's my thesis defense. You didn't really have to get challenged very much. You can't let yourself be on the back foot. Exactly. What about your thesis, bitch? You know, every college in the school library has old thesi, the old theses, Martin Luther's. They have theses of former students. Like, you can go to the ASU library and get my thesis. It's there. It's on gamification and marketing. The ship of theses. And you could find a professor's old thesis if they'd have to have gone to this school. But you could hunt it down. And then when they ask you a question about the thesis, you've already prepared questions on their thesis from decades ago. So you pull out the prospectus and go, really? You want to ask me that? How about your fucking dog shit table of contents? It doesn't even cover your main points. That could work. Or copy their paper and sue them for plagiarism. Okay. Walk me through that. So you've stolen an already published paper, and then you're trying to pitch it to the same professor who wrote it, and you're going to sue them for plagiarism with no evidence. Then you steal their girl. Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? That's cool. I appreciate that. You sound like you got to figure it out, dogs. Then you steal their chain. They're not maesters. Okay, I don't think they have a chain. Unlikely they're gonna have a chain to steal, but Atrioc, play the connections today, please, I beg. Fuck it. Who am I but a vessel for chat's demands? Do you know what I'm saying? You demand I play the connections, and so I will do it. I will do a quick connections. Create 4 groups of 4. Red carpet, film noir, basketball, private jet. Okay, my lifestyle? Atrioc's lifestyle? Boom, lock it in. Red carpet, velvet rope, paparazzi, limousine. Boom! Movie premiere. Basketball. Damn, Cowboy coffee? Cowboy, is that what you, that's why you want me to play today? This is all a waste of time. You just wanted to show the text Cowboy Coffee on screen. You could have just typed it, but you had to do this whole thing. And now I'm stuck and I have to solve this puzzle. Poetic justice. Dude, I don't know. Practical joke. This is a lot of, there's more 2-word ones than usual. Fly, I don't know what the Flyers mascot is. Is it like a bird? I assume. Private jet. Okay. Let's think about this. Sweet potato. Delicious. Sandpaper. Not delicious. Can't put those in the same. Orang. I don't know, dude. Cowboy coffee. I don't even know where that would fucking go. Cowboy coffee. Nothing. Not even close. Basketball. Dude, I can't see nothing in this. Sandpaper. Sandpaper is rough. You know what else is rough? Drinking coffee as a cowboy. Wait a minute, we're cooking. You know what else is rough? Film grain on old film noir movies. You know what else is rough? Well, not petroleum jelly, that's for sure. Maybe like a basketball. What a way! fuck? What a way! What the fuck are we talking about? Well, I was just guessing. What? In what world is that one away? Film noir, sandpaper, basketball, cowboy coffee? Maybe it's because they're grippy. Is there J. Cole as one of these? Is it grippy? Like this is a gripping film noir? And the I don't know, dude. I have no fucking idea. Well, I guess I'll find out with this. No, it was not. It was Cowboy Coffee. Is it just Atrioc? Cowboy Coffee basketball? Old, and then it's not sandpaper, it's private jet. That's what I fly. What the fuck is it? Cowboy Coffee basketball. Dude, this is completely boggling me. I have no idea. What was the answers? Okay. PJs. Oh, man. PJs. That's crazy. Things that are orange. Okay. And things that are gritty. What is the Flyers mascot? Flyers mascot. Oh, his name is Gritty. Okay, well, that seems like load-bearing information, to be honest. To know that this guy exists and his name is Gritty would have probably unlocked something for me. He's also orange. Doesn't know Gritty. Yeah, how do you not know Gritty? I don't watch hockey. Other than I know everything about hockey and I can explain it right now. Damn, he's kind of a wild man though, huh? Does hockey have mascots like this for all the teams out there on the ice? Or is Gritty like an anomaly? Gritty was pretty much a meme on release. He's the LeBron James of hockey. I don't... Guys, you're not going to convince me that Gritty is a top player. I'm not that out of hockey that I think, oh yeah, this is new player Gritty who's dominating on the Flyers. No, it's a mascot, dude. I don't think it's... He was back in the day. Oh, you're saying like he used to be really good, but now he's kind of retired. I see. It's in the eyes. Yeah. Wayne Gretzky got cooked by Gritty in one-on-one is what you're trying to say? We need an Atrioc stream mascot like Gritty. In what context would that be useful? In this square footage that we have for stream, where would the mascot appear? And how would that not be... We have Bergsy, by the way. We have Bergsy, an iconic burger. There, I think I fixed it. You think it would make the stream better if there was a person in a costume dancing around behind me the whole stream? Like just constantly moving and like really distracting. Like if I was trying to do a presentation or something, they were like, hype up the... Okay, wait a minute. Now you're cooking. What if I go live and the mascot comes out and hypes the pre-chat up and like shoots a t-shirt cannon out to the chatters and like, let's go, Rick, make some noise. Pre-chat, I want to hear you. And then I come out. Okay, that's kind of a good idea. I could see that. I could see that working. Get a marching band. The mascot is just Atrioc with a bigger head. Possible. Oh, it would be funny if it was just me and then, yeah, the costume is just my face printed bigger. Hey, welcome to the Big A stream. Yeah, that could be good. You guys, listen, I appreciate you guys submitting these ideas. Keep them coming. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to help build upon this content. I think you guys are the source of many great ideas. Not so many have been implemented yet, but I know they're coming. Stream idea, get a new camera. Well, I have a new camera. I did get one. I think your stream idea is more about installing it. But I wonder sincerely that if you guys are going to notice any difference. I get the sense that once I install this, it will not look that different. But that is a question for another time. That is a question for another time. Well, it will stop bouncing when I move the desk away from that. Hey. When are we going to get Atrioc branded underwear? Okay, be honest with me. Would you rather I work on anything else, like let's say a presentation or a video or anything else, or I work on releasing a line of Atrioc branded underwear? What do you think is a more important priority? The underwear. Enron branded underwear. An Enron thong. Now, you guys know this is kind of expensive, right? Like, I have to get the factory to make this stuff, and you have to pre-buy a certain amount. So you guys promise you'll buy it, right? Because I don't want to take a loss on 100,000 Enron branded thongs. That'll be, I don't want my garage to be filled with those. The N thong. I'll backstop them. I need like an, you know, like what NVIDIA's been doing lately, where it's like people are like, hey, I don't know if I can afford to buy $50 billion of GPUs and start a data center. Like, what if nobody uses it? What if I have no return? And then NVIDIA steps in and says, don't worry. We will guarantee backstop your data center. If nobody buys it, we will rent the compute from you. So please buy our GPUs. You guys are like that. You guys are. You should hard launch a VTuber alter ego that takes over Marketing Monday, but now they're super Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard? Could be a transition. Why would I do that? Can you answer that question? You guys often suggest things, and it feels like you have given no thought as to what I would gain or what the why is. Feels like you just want to say things. Is that crazy? Jungle Jim it, dude. You know what? Jungle Jim. That's true. Jungle Jim. I just got to make a fucking Kawhi VTuber alter ego to do Marketing Monday. Thing is, I don't think I have the voice for that. This voice coming out of a VTuber is going to sound odd. Because I can't do ya. I don't have anything. Just don't change the voice. Okay, so that sounds like you just want me to be a VTuber. It sounds like it's not even a character thing. You just want more anime on stream. Just put huge titties on the avatar. Nobody will notice. Feels like a real pivot from what my content is about currently. Feels like I'd really be throwing away some of the brand equity that I built. But you know what? You guys are the experts. What do I know? Budget Bunt Cakes. They give the 48 months. Safeway's going through it, RN. Talking like your friend. You guys know Safeway? They're really going through it right now. Seems like the company could die. Do you think a Jungle Gym takeover's in the works? That'd be so funny if after that video, Jungle Gym just goes full corporate raider. Starts buying up mass amounts of competitive grocery stores to make a monopoly. I didn't know Safeway is going through it. Where have you heard this? That Safeway? Did you just make that up to talk about Jungle Gym? Is this a made up story? Safeway is closing stores. They have closed dozens of locations under parent company Albertsons. Probably because Albertsons was banking on the Kroger merger, and they didn't get it, and now they're fucking panicking. They low-key are. The banner stores in and around Boston are way down on sales. Dude, there's a when are you gonna offend us Germans again? It's been a while. I offended a very specific type of German. So just to be clear. And I could probably offend that type of German in a million different ways. But I think now that Germany's remilitarizing, let's call it even. Okay. Now that Germany's remilitarizing, I'm not trying to fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's been 100 years since 1920. You never know what's Germany's due for another world war. Okay. They're like overdue. At the rate they go, they're overdue. And I'm not trying to start smoke. I'm gonna start to kick it off. They can't go over 3. How do you feel about Bob Iger owning the Lakers? I feel bad about it. I told that already. I feel really bad about it. It's annoying. Bob Iger has said being a Lakers fan is not in his DNA. So, he just said that shit. He said that shit and then he bought the Lakers. It's like so bad. Yeah, I don't like it at all. People change. Yeah, maybe. W owner who hates his team. Did the AOE video ever come out? It's being under review right now with the guys, but it's come out soon. Should be this week. Do you expect Trump to go to Lakers games? I mean, Bob Iger wasn't a big Trump guy. I think he donated to like a lot of anti-Trump causes, honestly. I don't think that, but it's now the Kushners are there, so who fuck knows? I don't know. I don't fucking know. NB Willie, thank you for the tier 1. Big A, I'm starting my last semester of community college and I'm looking at transferring. However, my first choice seems to be in financial difficulties. Don't ask me, bro. Is this something I should be worried about? I want to stay transportation. You're telling me that a school you might go to is going to fail. Should I be worried about this? I don't know. They didn't share their books with every streamer. I don't know, bro. If the school fails, that will be really problematic for you. Yes, that is really bad. People that are halfway through a degree and the school fails, it sucks. You don't get anything. There's no accreditation. So like, I guess I would just try to figure out the solution of that, or like how likely that is. But I don't know. I'm working on a documentary on the glizzy capital of the world, but you can't guess where. I don't promise to watch it, but tell me what it is. The glizzy capital of the world's got to be in America. Probably in Texas, right? Hot dog. LA or Chicago? Oh, Chicago, dude. Chicago is probably the glizzy capital of the world, right? Don't they love hot dogs there? What if you bought the school and made it the Atrioc School of Streaming? I should do a fucking Hogwarts thing. Welcome, I'll do a Dumbledore, to the Atrioc School of Streaming. That could be good. And then, yeah, everyone gets sorted into houses. Could be a good idea. And of course, predatory loans. Yeah. It'll be $80,000 a semester. It'll be 80 racks a semester. We are grifting. People would actually pay. You are delusional. If you think there's one person on earth who would pay 80 grand for a semester of the Atrioc School of Streaming. Other than Ludwig, bro. Other than Ludwig. All right, that he'd steal it for a class. Sarah gave Aiden a sock. That means Aiden is free. Yeah, could be fun. Could be fun. Could be fun. Could be the move. Could be the move. You guys have really come out the gate. We're only in our first 30 minutes of stream, and you guys have dropped some absolute banger ideas. I got to be honest with you. Feels like you've already given me a lot to plan for future content. Did you move up recording on the stand so Aiden could play CS? That's exactly what we did. Yeah, I said that. Will you stream on September 10th? Let's schedule like, well, wait, why are you asking me this? Dude, I thought you were somebody in my life for, I don't know, because people have been asking my schedule for the rest of the year. Today I had to write out my own schedule. It's just so funny you asked me this. I was like, I locked into like organizing mode. I was like, what? Who the fuck are you? You're asking me what I'm doing on September 10th, dude. That's insane. That's so far away. But I have upcoming travel. I'm going to New York to interview Steve Eisman of The Big Short. We're doing a follow-up where I'm really going to grill him on his previously sanguine takes on the economy when he was on Lemonade Stand. Then I'm going to stay in New York to protest Mamdani Sharia law. Yep, that's going to be a big 2-month project I'm doing there, where I'm going to do my best to fight back. And then I am going to Germany in November? October or November? I believe it is November. I'm going to Germany in November to try to build a nuclear power plant with my bare hands to try and save German energy. And then also while I'm there, I'm going to cast The Garrison 2, which is a big Age of Empires, one of the biggest Age of Empires tournaments of the year. I'm going to be a caster and hang out with Hera in person for the first time, which will be fun. Then I'm going to Singapore. No, all these things are happening, except for whatever. Everything is happening, I just said. Then, by the way, I want to say, this is a you problem. Because it's not hard. It's not hard. It's you and some of these fucking YouTube comments. It's not difficult. I am not subtle. I just am not subtle. It's not that layered. It's not that deep. I am very obvious usually when I'm joking, which is never, because I don't fucking joke. The whole point of this stream is that I'm fucking dead serious and I tell you the facts as it is. Okay, I'm going to Germany. I'm building a nuclear power plant. That's what's happening. Okay, catch up. All right. I'm also going to Singapore with Aiden and, drumroll please, Sea-Dog VA. We're going to do a Singapore trip with me, Sea-Dog, and Aiden. And ideally we'll film some of it, but I'll see about that. But either way, it will be fucking fun. No, Doug doesn't want to travel, bro. Doug's doing a Japan trip earlier and he's just traveled out. Meet up in Singapore would be sick. I mean, maybe we could do that. I don't know. No plans yet. Didn't Sea-Dog agree to that drunk? Yeah, he did, but then he messaged later and said he wants to do it. He messaged Aiden independently, and he's like, hey, I want to go to... So, sounds like he's in. Sounds like he's fucking in. You mean he's broke? Yeah. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that Doug is broke. He cannot afford a flight to Singapore, which is why he's not going. That's why. He literally, we were all like, let's buy our tickets at the same time. And then his card got declined. And he's like, no, wait, check my other card. He pulled a different card out and he swiped it and they're like, declined again. So he's broke. And this is me being real. Okay? Not even with the mug refund. Did he get that? Wait, did you? I gotta ask him. I'm gonna ask him right now, actually. Did you ever get the mug tariff refund? He should borrow money. So we both offered. We both offered to loan him money. But then the second he got the money, he was in such deep debt that it didn't even fill up back to zero. All the money immediately, so he couldn't even still after we loaned him. It's so much Klarna. The Doug carry trade. Dude, by the way, little update on the yen carry trade. It's like completely back. It's completely back to what it was. Like all of the US intervention is unwound. They're at the 160 level again. Yeah, they're at 159. Like the mark for intervention was when $1 equals 160 Japanese yen. They're already back to 160. It is crazy. So they spent billions of dollars to buy what? Like a week? A week of yen strength? That's great. That's billions of dollars. Euros, I'm sorry. Billions of euros to buy maybe 10 days of yen strength. Doug's in chat? Wait, Doug, are you here to borrow money? Why are you DMing me? Do your job. Okay, I'm DMing you because the people need to know if you are financially solvent with your tariff money. Did you get it back? Okay? Or did Donald Trump steal it? No shot you had the tariff money back. Well, I mean, the corporations did. Amazon got a massive tariff refund. Target, Walmart, they all got massive tariff refunds. It is crazy. Dude, it is fucking crazy that they rolled out the tariffs and thus had to raise prices. So they raised prices, so the consumer paid more. And then at the end of it, all the tariffs get unwound, but you don't get your money back. The corporation does. So it was just like a massive, like, it was just a price raise, I guess. And then all the money we lost for the transition costs. You know, you had to pay the inspectors, you had to pay the people to hire lawyers to handle their tariffs. That was dope, dude. What a fucking play. And by the way, the entire time he was saying how tariff revenue was going to pay for everything. The whole time it was like tariff revenue is going to get rid of income tax and it was going to pay down our debt. Dude, I saw a quote recently, really eye-opening. Oh, Doug said, I didn't ask for my tariff money back. I trust the government to use the money wisely. A true fucking patriot, folks. Can we get an 07 for Doug, the last real fucking patriot in chat? Bunch of you fake fucks turning on our great president. Yes, dude. We need a couple million more Dougs. We'll get this debt paid down in no time. Greatest president since Biden. Oh, what was I saying? What was I saying? I was on a rant. I was on a rant, and then I did a Doug joke. What the? Oh! It was this quote, dude. Wait, I gotta find it. I gotta find it. I gots to find it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this one. I found it. Here it is. Okay. This is a quote from Donald Trump in 2016 at the beginning of his first term. It has now been 10 years. Donald Trump, we've got to get rid of the $19 trillion in debt. How long would that take? I could do it fairly quickly because of the fact of the numbers. What's fairly quickly? Well, I would say over a period of 8 years, and I'll tell you why. Would you ever be open to tax increases as part of that to solve the problem? Great question. I don't think I'll need to. The power is trade. Our deals are so bad. So, $19 trillion in debt. The debt today, 10 years later, you'd imagine it'd be pretty close to zero. It's 40 trillion. It's more than doubled. It's not just like no progress, bro. It's accelerated. And it was Biden. It's crazy that, like, if you look at the graph, it looks like this. It literally looks like this. Okay? Here's the debt, okay? The debt. It's going up and up and up over time. And then Trump 1 goes into office, goes to 0. Then it's flat. Then Biden ruins it, goes to like 100 trillion. And now Trump 2, he's brought it back down to a mere 40 trillion. You can't see it because my head's there. But like that, do you understand? Like this is accomplishment. And if you give him a few more years, he'll get it back down to 0. But he's been working, bro. He's been working his ass off. By the way, in case sometimes people get confused on whether or not I'm being sarcastic or being serious. I want you to know that I'm being serious right now. This is what happened. I'm teaching you a fact about the economy. Sometimes that people get, I have to understand, like I have these tone indicators sometimes because people aren't. So I want you to know that this is real. This part is not joking. So write this down. Okay. So anyway, I just thought that was a pretty funny quote. It's just a shocker to me. I believed him. And then I saw did I put this in bookmarks? I can't find it. There was a video from election night 2016 of some woman just so gleeful, so lectury that they that things were about to get so different. He's about to fix everything. Have you seen new ETFs being launched that track NHL team success? Yes, dude. There is a bunch of ETFs. I don't know if they've been launched, but they're applying to be launched. And it doesn't seem like the current the CFTC approves these. Who approves these? They're not so strict on the rules. But there's these new ETFs. Like there's a literal look. This one. I'm going to show it to you. Give me 1 second. This is the Subversive All-Season Sports ETF. You guys know, I mentioned what ETFs were in a previous presentation, but it's basically just an investing idea. You know, like the S&P 500 is an ETF. You put money into it, it splits it up and buys 500 stocks. That's the idea. The sports ETF here is that you put money in, it gives these guys money, and they gamble it. They gamble it on sports bets. And if they make a positive return, then your ETF goes up and you make money. That is what it is. It's just an ETF on a diversified portfolio of sports bets. It's so beast, bro. Okay? I think it's awesome. I think it's just a good sign of the times, bro. I wonder if I can get a good line from this to really show you what they're talking about. This is all mostly legalese. Can NHL players invest in themselves since they're not the one gambling? I mean, that's a great question. We've like disintermediated gambling so much that it's like, is a player investing in an NHL sports betting ETF that they don't control the bets of still breaking the rules? The answer, of course, should be yes, but it's ridiculous. Are they outperforming the NASDAQ? But, you know, if they were, right? If they were outperforming the NASDAQ in a short period of time, would you think it's worth investing in? Do you think maybe they might have a downturn if they're a sports gambling based? What's the Korean stock market doing? Oof! Damn! 6% drop for the Kospi in the last, what, few hours? It's so swingy over there. What would be the equivalent ETF for a big A stream? What do you mean? What? How? There's no. You could invest in an ETF that bets on doubt on whether or not I will go live on time. And then you will make a steady guaranteed stream of profits. However, the problem is, were I to go live on time, even just once, it would probably cripple your returns because of the odds. Do you know what I'm saying? You're basically picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. The risk is so high. Good thing Korea isn't a real place. It's like Atlantis. Yeah. Yeah. Korea is a myth we tell each other. It's like a fable about like what would happen if a series of dynastic family-controlled companies ran the entire economy. It's like this story we tell to scare people away. It's a cautionary tale, yeah. I watched Tuner because of your recommendation. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Thanks for the rec. No problem. Glad you liked it. It was a great movie. DJ Dormammu, thank you for the prime. Leo Koala, thank you for the prime. Silver Eye Senpai, thank you for the tier 1. Hunter, thank you for the 6 months. Estranged Glizzy, thank you for the tier 1. JLC 170, thank you for the prime. DJ PBJ, thank you for the prime. Thanks for the primes, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Clarence, thank you for the 17 months. Have you watched Windover production video on Samsung? No, I don't think so. Is there a new Windover video? Is there something like incredible? Dude, I kind of wanted to watch some slop today, though. I wanted to watch like a Mr. Beast video or something. That sounds so crazy, but I kind of wanted to do that. I wanted to watch something like so slopped up. Death Battle? Death Battle's peak, not slop. Okay, Crane, stop trying to fucking set up an intro to a clip, please. Like, I'm ignoring some of them, but now it's getting annoying. You're doing every single post. It's like, I get it. Please stop trying to do it. You chat too often for you to have a theme, okay? Just go with the flow. Okay? Be like every VTuber and watch Legends of Avantris shorts. Are there really people going live to watch shorts? What is Legends of Evantris? Legends of Evantris. It's a tabletop role-playing game. I'm gonna watch one short. You're like your favorite VTuber. Okay. I'm sorry, they just scroll down these shorts and watch them? Oh, I don't know if I want to click one. It'll ruin my algo.
What's your name?
Okay. I clicked it. Legends of Evantris.
Name?
Pete Nut!
Oh my god! I think we might be related!
Are we related?
I'm Hazelnut!
Hazelnut?
Oh my god!
Is Grandma Nut still alive?
She is, believe it or not! She's still kicking around!
Nothing can get her.
You know what's funny? This is like a thing I've noticed when streaming. Anytime there's like a niche interest people like that's popular, and they're like, it's so peak, you gotta look at it. If I ever pull it up, they always go, no, that part's bad. They always go, that's not the one. They're always like instantly kind of embarrassed, and they go, you just didn't. This has happened like hundreds of times, bro. Just stand on business. This is fine. It's a little goofy, but whatever. It's fine. You can enjoy this. You don't have to be like, no, you don't get it. This is like their most popular one, by the way. That's 1.5 million likes. Okay, if you like it, you like it, bro. It's not for me, I think, but I just think that's a funny thing I've seen. This video is for you. What's this?
If you have a channel that's getting lit,
every mistake preventing you from getting views on YouTube. And it's from a guy who got 175K views in 4 months. Okay. I don't mean, what is he just selling something? What? He has 8K subscribers. It's not terrible. No, it's not terrible, but it's like, what makes you got qualified to tell you how to get views? Okay, literally every single video is about how to help your channel grow. But it's not luck. Monetized in 1 month. No views. YouTube is broken. Find viral video ideas. But it's all over Minecraft footage. Is that the trick? Is the trick to talk over Minecraft footage? Maybe I could do that. Did you read the article? I didn't read this article, but I think I mentioned it in the video. It's that, Korean investors are such gamblers that after the recent downturn in the Kospi, when the government stepped in and like tried to limit access to dangerous leveraged ETFs, they didn't go, wow, I just lost a lot of money. I should probably learn from that lesson and like reduce my risk exposure. They just started taking on crazy gambles on American stocks. They just moved out of the country. They just started gambling elsewhere. Like there was a huge retail outflow of Korea to other countries. How else did you get the money back? Andrew Sib, thank you for the prime. Yeah, I did see this. I was actually probably going to watch a Charlie video about this because I feel like I like his videos most when it's YouTube related. My understanding, it's also good because he's been around YouTube for a while. Maybe he has some thoughts on this. Let's see. Let's see what Charlie thinks about this.
I mean, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this new YouTube change is my second least favorite change they've ever made, second only to dislikes being removed, and this is only slightly behind it because I think this one is on almost the same level of baffling stupidity to even have the idea, and even more befuddling to pull the trigger on actually implementing this idea. YouTube has made a habit out of just going hog wild on changes that not a single soul on the planet has ever asked for. And there's a chance that these ideas are thoughts that not a single sentient organism has ever thought of until YouTube farted them out. Because these ideas are just so silly and wacky. It's like,
I can't tell if he's a fan or not. You know what I'm saying? I wish he would be more direct as to his thoughts. I feel like he's holding some stuff back. And I want to know if he I really want to know, does he like it or not? That's just tell me direct.
Like, when you take a shit, you're probably not thinking about eating the poop, but YouTube, they get in there like a pinworm and they say, hey, to hell with it. Send it, launch. And they do, like removing dislikes because their feelings got hurt over Rewind. And now today they announced that they're completely changing the way that YouTube views on long-form content are calculated publicly. Starting August 24th, views will count the moment a video begins to play with no minimum watch time. The first frame of a video will count as a view now across all formats, VOD, Shorts, and Live. I
mean, this will juice view numbers, I guess. So that's what YouTube wants to do, is juice view numbers. But it will make them less trustworthy, which is an L.
Standardizing views to reflect creators' true exposure across YouTube, making it easier to show their value to brand partners. This update won't impact creator earnings or YouTube partnership program eligibility. So if you have a video even autoplay for a split second, like scroll to one, autoplays, that counts as a view publicly. Now,
click farms are back. It'll encourage. Yeah, I think I mean, maybe I'll say this. I don't know. But I think it'll encourage, I'm thinking through it, it encourages more clickbait, right? Because you can get the views, even if you hook them for 1 second instead of longer. So clickbait is more likely. And then realistically, it'll probably also encourage I guess just more slop, right? I guess there already is a lot of slop on YouTube, but I think that would, because you would get the results without having the engaged view.
They do mention that they still have engaged viewer metrics, which is kind of the old way of calculating it, where you need a viewer to stick around for, it was about 30 seconds on long form content, which is like an actual view and something that's been standard on the platform for ages. Now they're going the way of shorts calculation, which is even if you fall asleep and it just starts doom scrolling, every single thing that it hits is going to count as a view there. Just ding as an impression, which is completely useless. This change is going to explode YouTube views, obviously, but it's not real. It's just a vapid fake number. It's just phony baloney nonsense, really. And the sentence there where they said it's going to help you stand out to brand partners, no the fuck it's not. Brand partners are going to maybe do deals for a month under these new programs with these channels that are getting millions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the inflated number everywhere. Yeah.
Of views, and they'll sell 3 things because it's all fucking fake. It's so silly. And the only channels that stand to benefit from this are the channels that you don't want to thrive here, the ones that have already poisoned shorts, which is AI, clickbait, and just fucking endless amounts of slop, mainly AI slop. This now incentivizes them to break containment, the SCP protocol here, and go on to long form now, because now they can thrive there too. And they already have been thriving in long form, even with the previous view metric calculation.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're already doing that. So, I don't know. I wish YouTube would do something better about cracking down on it. It is the thing that's most demoralizing to me about YouTube right now, is that there's these just AI video essays, and they make 1 million of them a day on every subject ever. And it's hard for a good one to stand out. You can't tell that someone put a lot of effort in when you see a longer video about an interesting subject anymore, because they just, they just fucking force it out.
This now just incentivizes it more and pushes normal creators to once again really heavily consider just clickbaiting so that way they get you in the door right away. Like, K-pop Demon Hunters did what? And it's them bending over fucking full goatsy or something. Just to get a click, because now that counts as a view, whereas before it didn't. Because if you got clickbaited, you'd probably click off in a handful of seconds. That would never register as a view, so you could never capitalize on that. Now, with this new change, you can, and it is constantly going to be incentivizing that. And again, it does nothing for brand partners, because if they start working under these fake numbers instead of like requesting engaged viewer numbers, then those brands are fucking dumb. And they're going to feel a huge hit to their marketing spend when they see no return off all of these phony
The only thing I'll say is that, you know, so much marketing spend is wasted anyway. And maybe YouTube is trying to capture, let's say you're a really fucking big brand, like a General Mills or something, you know? And they have this marketing spend budget of tens, hundreds of millions of dollars. And they, or AT&T or whatever, right? Okay, there's someone big. And, you know, when they're running the numbers, it's like we can get this many impressions on TikTok, but we'll get less on YouTube. Even though it's just because the way TikTok counts it is different, right? So they don't even know or care about whether or not it's impactful or it works. It's more like they want to show this chart to their boss of how much they got for how much spend, and the number's bigger. And so the way YouTube counts it, which is more strict and accurate, has been like hurting them in these meetings. It's like possible they're just trying to catch up in this arms race. But you know, it reminds me of like this happened with Chinese streaming platforms, where they all stopped reporting any real viewer numbers and they started reporting like a heat score. And the heat score would be like, you know, 300 million. And then it got more and more deranged. You had no idea what the actual view count was. We could be on that level. I don't know.
Phony views, these fucking horseradish views that aren't real. And you can easily gamify this. Like I saw Spiffing Brit give a little infinite money glitch that is a little tongue-in-cheek, but would actually work, where you just instruct your viewers to just F5 over and over again while you have a sponsorship enabled with uncapped CPM. You could farm an unbelievable amount of money through doing that if it's just the public views instead of engaged views. Like, dude, and I don't think that
we kind of did this to Raid Shadow Legends. When we first started off-brand and it was just doing like sponsors and ad deals, we did Raid Shadow Legends for Ludwig, and it was for his first Melee tournament, Ludwig Championship Series or something. And we had this big thermometer on screen, and it would fill up based on the number of downloads of Raid Shadow Legends. And they were going to pay us based on the amount of downloads. You know, there was some flat fee and then the downloads. And so we're like, if we get a certain number of downloads, this will be the largest prize pool in Melee history. That was the marketing idea that I came up with. Was if the thermometer fills up, this is the biggest prize, or the 10th largest prize pool. I don't remember what it was, but it was like, it was a big prize pool. And then, so, you know, that's the pitch, and Ludwig sells it well. He's on stream like, hey guys, if we get this many downloads, so just download it. Just download it. You don't even have to play it. Just download it. And it works. I mean, it works. So a lot of fucking people download it and they don't play it. They don't. And so Raid Shadow Legends, you know, normally they do this math on how much money they're going to give us based on, like, you know, every player plays, 50% become full-time players. We make this amount of money from them. Well, that's the idea. Like but the math wasn't working. And then they came back, they checked the numbers, and they're like, hey, this is the retention rate on these new downloads is like the lowest it's ever been. It's like insanely low. And so they tried to pull out of the deal, like that we'd already signed, bro. It was a locked deal. But we're like this fledgling new company. It's like one of our first big ad deals. And so we had to like get in this fucking call with them, and their mood had all changed. They were way more pissy. And we had to like negotiate. Okay, he's gonna go on stream and he's gonna say you have to play at least a certain amount. Whatever. They made like a checkpoint. They made like a checkpoint of people where you people had to get to a certain point in the game. You know, it's really pretty early on, but you had to do it. And so we're like, okay, but we're annoyed at the way you've handled this deal because you changed the terms. And so like, we're gonna do this, but we're locked in. That's it. And then we go back out there, and then the marketing is like, okay, play exactly to this point and then quit. And so, couldn't you sue? Yeah, but here's the thing. When you're a small little fucking company, you don't want to get in a lawsuit with Raid Shadow Legend as your first thing. So not everybody, but a lot of the people boot up the game. They played exactly the exact amount, and they uninstall. And we got enough of those to hit the cap. We got all the payout from Raid Shadow Legends, and they never called back. That was it. That was the one-time deal. But that shit worked.
Your viewers to just F5 over and over again while you have a sponsorship enabled with uncapped CPM. You could farm an unbelievable amount of money through doing that if it's just the public views instead of engaged views. Like, and I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think brands are going to really care about the public view. I don't think anyone's going to care about the public view because everyone is going to know it's not real. And it just really made botting services extremely happy.
I don't know. I agree with his take on how bad it is, but I don't know if I share his confidence in people's ability. Like, you know, when people get you ever talk to somebody who got a TikTok that went viral or a short that went viral? They're like, dude, I got 1 million views. They share, they tell their friends. You know, it's like people care about the number, even if it is like, you know, how many of them are engaged, how many whatever. I think people are still going to be like, holy, I got 1 million views on YouTube. It does suck though, because I think getting 1 million views on YouTube right now is actually a pretty good barometer of quality. I know you guys are going to say Mr. Beast or whatever, but I genuinely think if a video has 1 million views and it's on something I'm interested in, you get something out of it often. You feel like you're going to get like decently approximating what you expected. It may not be a perfect video, it may not be a cinematic masterpiece, but you get what you expected. But the more they inflate that, it's going to ruin that barometer. But I don't count that for shorts. For shorts, you could have 1 million views and it could be dog shit. It could be completely unrelated.
You know they just fucking blew a load into those britches right there. They got a fucking fat wet spot in those trousers because now bots are going to be...
Makes me wonder how much longer YouTube will be around. Bro, I think YouTube's setting up for the long haul, and they seem pretty fucking powerful right now. High key, YouTube has all of Hollywood quaking in their boots. They got all the studios quaking in their boots. They have all the sports companies quaking in their boots. YouTube is setting up to buy the local broadcast rights of like 28 of the 32 NBA teams or whatever. Like it's like a multi-billion-dollar deal. The YouTube's setting up to just be TV, but they don't even have to pay for the shows. Damn, it's such an insane business model. They literally made TV studios, but they don't have to pay. The shows pay for themselves and create themselves and compete with each other. It's wild.
So pivotal to a lot of these like AI slop factory protocol. Like this is like, and not only that, just also normal YouTubers that are trying to like stand out might just start doing botting. That's going to be much more effective now that it doesn't have to like have a certain amount of time that it sticks around. Just a single frame is all it takes. Bro, botting services are absolutely going to be popping off, no doubt. Like, yes, YouTube does have like anti-botting measures in place, but they're not perfect. No platform has perfect protection from bots. Look at Shorts, for example. And that's only going to be now even more prevalent because it's not just Shorts, now it's long form too.
YouTube is moving to an exposure-based model for views across all formats, meaning a view will now be counted the moment a video begins to play from the very first frame. Hello Insiders, I'm Rene Ritchie, a longtime creator now working.
I'm going to release Marketing Mondays one frame at a time over the course of 365. Wait, that's only 365 frames. It'll be a pretty short Marketing Monday. And all you have to do is click in every day to get your next frame. I'll add up the views. I'll go to a sponsor. I'll get a fucking... It's just... You'd have to post one? Bro, I posted 2 in the past like 10 days. You motherfucker. You know, it actually does bother me a bit when people complain about me not ever doing it, and then I do it, and they don't change their joke. It's like, I think you just like the joke. It doesn't matter what. I can upload multiple, and you'd still... It's fucked. It's fucked, bro. There's no incentive. I have to blow my nose. My nose is stuffy. It's stuffy, bro. Let a man blow his nose. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, wait. Don't say stompers. I'm light on my feet, bro. I've been working out. This is my most consistent I've ever been. Ever been on working out. I feel like I just feel fucking sore all the time. I'm being real. I haven't really got to any progress yet, but I feel sore all the time. So there's something to that.
Working at YouTube, and here's what's up. Last year, YouTube moved to an exposure-based model for Shorts views. This year, starting August 24, YouTube will be expanding that model to long form.
Oh, excuse me, I'm wiggling in my seat. Oh, I can't help myself here. Please, I don't mean to interrupt, but my hand is raised. Can I ask a quick question? How did that work for Shorts? Are Shorts in a really good spot? Is Shorts on YouTube synonymous with high-quality content that's being churned out? Or has it been degraded into a complete cesspool of AI slop that even YouTube themselves...
Yeah, he's definitely right about this. But my one wonder, this is like a dark beating worm in my heart that I try to hide and bury. But my wonder is this. What if humans just like this disgusting slop? What if, like, no matter how we count the views, they just slowly but surely are going to spend more of their time eyes glowing, scrolling endless fucking fields of slop? What if we're just piggies in a trough and some of us are, like turning our nose up at the trough and some aren't, but eventually we're all fucking snarfing down the slop, dude. That's my wonder. That is my wonder. I hope it's not true, and I certainly don't have evidence that it's true, but I just feel this angst. I saw this thing. This really spooked me recently. I saw this study where they had a bunch of people read poems and then rate them, like which poems they liked the most. And the AI generated poems statistically outperformed. It was like mixed in with real poems and AI poems, and they, over the course of hundreds of poems, they statistically gave higher ratings to the AI poems. And it was like, fuck. And then, I don't know. And then you see something like Fruit Love Island, and it's like everyone is watching it ironically, but but they're watching it, bro. And like, I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm so far above it, dude. I watched Jarvis's video on it, and it's like, it's kind of entertaining. Like, in a way, your brain is like, you can't look away. It's like, what the, this is so strange and weird. And so I don't know. I just don't know, dude. I worry that it's like, it's not just a view counting thing. And then you start seeing AI music is topping the charts on iTunes, and it's taking up a larger and larger percentage of Spotify. Most people, when they just put on their playlist, can't tell a difference. Dude, I remember I was at that finance conference in Florida, and a truly brilliant man. I don't say this lightly. I think I was listening to a truly brilliant man on finance talk. And then at the end of it, he was talking about how crazy AI was getting, and he played an AI remix of a song he liked that like made it a different genre. And he was like, that's amazing. And it sounded kind of like shit to me, but he was like, holy, again, I want to be clear. He wasn't like insanely glazing it, but it was like a really positive take on it. I was like, this doesn't sound that good. So I don't know. It's all Fast and Furious, bro. Genre swapping music is the only keys of AI. There's a lot of genre swapping music on YouTube. I clicked one. It was like 50 Cent genre swap. Yeah, they made it soul. I clicked one and I had a million recommendations for a while. Like a lot of Motown. What up, Maisie? Oomphy. I like being called Oomphy better than hog snarfing bitch. That's an improvement. What's up, Maisie? It's easier on the ears. It is easier on the ears. It was great. We saw Maisie and Linkus recently. They came out to LA. It was fun seeing them. I wish we could have seen them more, but they're too addicted to their guns in Texas. It was crazy. It was like watching a Disney Channel original movie about fish out of water. They both got off the Greyhound bus wearing cowboy hats and holding guns. And they were like, what's going on in LA? And we had to tell them like the unique aspects of the city. And it was crazy, dude. And they kept trying to like wrestle up cows and stuff. Yeah, they kept talking about how these city folk do it so different. Anyway, it was good to see him. You didn't leave and then say, oh my God, I'm so glad they don't live here anymore. Annoying asses. Yeah. No, I didn't do that. Feels like a little bit of insecurity. That's something I would do. Did they break out into a spontaneous line dance? Yeah, they did. And then they taught people in the big city what it was like to like have a little bit of country soul. You know what I'm saying? Like there was this big Hollywood executive who was like too caught up on his phone and name dropping and like trying to make it in the glitz and the glamour. And then Linkus and Maisie taught him how to line dance. And he said, you know what? Maybe we're not so different. And he learned a little bit about grit and humility along the way. It was actually really, I was so impressed to be around that. Did you see GTA 6 leaked again? I heard the GTA 6 leakers are dropping the map and other information about the game every day because of what, the price? What did they say the reason was? Oh, because it was digital only? Because of woke. Oh, yeah, because there's no physical media. Wait, is there really no physical media on GTA 6? They're shilling their crypto? Well, yeah, you got to shill your crypto. If you get the attention of GTA 6, you got to shill your crypto. Yeah, it does feel like they are just kind of coming up with a popular excuse, but we're going to leak it no matter what and to promote a crypto. That's what it seems like. It seems like they wanted to add like a little bit of a veneer of like they're rebels with a popular cause.
Is trying their absolute best to combat night and day to no avail, fighting an endless battle of these slop factories that are churning out infinite amount of content all hours of the day, every single second, just to capitalize off of this kind of shit. I don't really think you should be taking lessons from the way Shorts is functioning right now for long form, because while long form obviously has its problems with the same thing, AI slop and those content farms, I've yapped about it quite a bit. Yeah. It's not nearly to the level of degeneracy that's on Shorts, but this is making a push towards it. Why? What? How is there not a lesson being learned right now with what's going on with fucking YouTube Shorts? Are they just so blinded by the big number, like 200 billion views a day on Shorts or whatever?
Yeah.
Now they want it to long form? Like, oh, we have 200 billion YouTube Shorts views. Now let's extend that to long form where we can just artificially inflate all these numbers for exposure. These fucking random impressions if someone just happens to accidentally see a frame of your video.
I think it's just the arms race to TikTok. I think it's literally it. I think they just don't want to have a smaller number than TikTok on anything. And so they want the number to use the same methods they use, which is fucked up. It's just fucked up because it's a race to the damn bottom.
Bang, that counts. So now we have big number time to celebrate. But it's not real. It's not legitimate. It's useless. And you yourself on the website even talk about how this has no effect on monetization. So like you're not paying creators more for these.
Most shorts have to be just Suits clips. I think you're telling on your algo. But I do think a huge portion of TikTok and YouTube shorts are just stolen Hollywood media. Yeah, I do think that's a huge, I don't think it's just Suits, but I do think it's a lot of fucking, dude, I got a bunch of Sopranos clips today. Wait a minute. Holy shit, Zeno. I got Sopranos shorts. It's so fucked, honestly. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so late. I think about it, but it's a great scene, so I'll watch it. And they'll put text on screen that says like, this scene was incredible. And I'm like, now I have to watch it. And then I watch it. No, I'm not saying it's fucked because of copyright. I don't give a shit about that. I think it's just fucked that that's the way we experience great forms of media now. It's just, I don't know. It's like, happens to anime clips too. It happens to all shows. I mean, I think we did a wins and fails on it a while back, but Netflix figured this out, adapted to it, and now releases their own shows on shorts as like a promotional mechanism. Because they realize that you seeing some random clip on a short is like your journey into becoming a fan of that show and maybe eventually watching the full thing. Quibi was right. Dude, what's crazy is Quibi kind of was right. They were just too, like Quibi was Jeffrey Katzenberg, former Disney animation lead, who then founded DreamWorks and Shrek, and Meg Whitman of Yahoo, making a bet that the world was going to get more short form and attention spans were going to get worse. But the problem was they didn't know how bad it would get. They made the foolish mistake of betting that people would watch 10-minute clips that they couldn't skip. And they didn't realize it was going to be 10-second clips that people wanted to do while multitasking. Quibi was actually too highbrow. They flew too high. They were too old to realize the depth of the attention rod had gone. 10 minutes is long form, bro. I do long form content on Big A clips. Actually, we did an hour yesterday, but dude, I'm surprised that hour. I was like, that's a 10 out of 10 flop stinker. No, we're uploading an hour clip. All right, 8ish. That shit banged. Bro, that's a 3 out of 10. Did 420K in a day, and there's like good watch time. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess some of you just watch YouTube differently than me, bro. You just like to fucking put an hour-long thing on and play a game. I think that's your whole vibe. Is you put a game on or something, and then you put something on that's an hour long. And that's how you fucking... I don't do that. If I'm playing a game, I do not put a fucking podcast. I don't want to hear someone talk. Maybe you guys play gacha games or MMOs or some shit. Hey, I played Liza P. I recorded it in case you're wondering. I played Liza P. I beat Laxasia. I don't know how to say her name. I beat a pretty hard boss. Shit was pretty cash, actually. I actually had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fucking fun. Laxative, yeah. That shit was cash, bro. Are we getting off? Yeah, it's gonna be offline recorded content, I think. So that was cool. Speaking of that video, do you have any books you recommend on the economic rise of China? Fucking average Big Eclipse chatter. Yeah, you know what? I would recommend something. We're doing a book club right now on a book called I Deliver Parcels in Beijing. I Deliver Parcels in Beijing. This book right here. It's a truly, truly, truly interesting, compelling, and I would dare say beautiful book. That's what I would say. Here it is right here. And it's about a guy. Literally, it's not about a guy. It's written by a guy who worked like 30 different gig jobs in China and then wrote a blog about it as he was doing it. And his blog got so popular because of his wit and his insight into the human condition that he turned it into a book. And it's cool. I just thought it was really good. And so we're reading this, and it's a good way to see, I don't know, some aspect of modern China.
Big views. It's imaginary. The creators aren't getting paid more. Brands certainly won't pay them more. And in fact, I would even see a world where they might start paying less because there's so little trust in what the views represent anymore. They would need like thorough analytics on the engaged views. But I think there's a chance that, you know...
Dude, this has been a bomb. This has been like a nuclear bomb with a detonator ticking at the heart of the global online advertising economy forever. We've talked about it, I think, before, but there's a book right here. Literally right here. I read this fucking a long ass time ago. This is an old book at this point. When did this come out? It's called Subprime Attention Crisis. Advertising and the Time Bomb at the Heart of the Internet. It's all about how so much of online advertising is ClickFarm's fake bots. So much of it is fake. So many of the things that people pay for online do not receive any real value. They aren't seen by anyone. Like, if you are somebody who like advertises on Facebook, which almost every small business in America has to do in the modern day, they advertise in their Facebook or Google. So much of what you spend just goes into nothing. It is spent to show the ad to nobody, to like basically a non-human who isn't like automatically clicked. Yeah, view bots on Twitch. Like people are paying to advertise on a streamer who is view botted. It's just lies. There're just so many lies. And the problem is the people that get duped by the lies, which is like marketers, have a strong incentive not to admit it up the chain. They have a strong incentive to lie, even if they know it's a lie, to keep the lie going because it keeps their job going. So everybody is lying to everybody, and there's so much wasted money. And it keeps all this afloat. So much of this ad-supported online content is like, it's like not real, but and if someone ever solves it, it's going to blow up so much of the modern internet, which I guess is not a bad thing anymore. I felt like it was a bad thing when I read this book, but it's degraded so much. Yeah, when did this come out, bro? This is such an interesting. Yeah, sorry. It's a good book. Ask Claude to figure it out and tell it to make no mistakes. Yeah, you should do that.
Up-and-coming YouTubers probably get even worse deals from these brands because they just might not even trust what's being provided through the material anymore. It's just like there's no winners here except for AI slop, clickbait, just to get that first frame view.
How is there 10 minutes left in this video? No disrespect. This is actually, I like the summary. How is there 10 minutes left? Because he's repeating himself.
First frame click and botters. Outside of that, I don't see who this actually benefits except for people that just like to see big number, but if it doesn't mean anything, what's the point of big number? I don't understand it. I really don't. It just opens the door to just exploitation and just a further degradation of the content that gets posted onto YouTube. Once again, trending more towards AI slop and that kind of filth. And like I said, it's not doing anything to help normal people that are trying to like make it on YouTube because none of these new view calculations are going to matter to making it into the partnership program, which they just doubled the requirements for. So you still need to hit the engaged views and like the qualified watch hours, which these do not count towards. So it's completely vapid.
That's interesting. So they're pulling up the ladder on new partners, but inflating the view counts of current partners. So maybe it's like a circling of the wagons to help all current big YouTubers at the expense of anyone new. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm on board.
Useless.
Podcasts, live streams, all formats. YouTube is doing this to ensure consistency
Mr.
across
Beast.
the platform, to make sure every moment of connection between creator and audience is captured, and so that there's no confusion.
The thing is, though, I mean, obviously Mr. Beast has been good for YouTube, but fundamentally, Mr. Beast, YouTube as a business does not like Mr. Beast. YouTube's dream is to have fewer people that have 100 million subs or whatever, and a lot more that have 10 million. Because then the creator has very little leverage over them. They don't want anyone to be so big that they have any leverage over the platform. They would prefer to have everyone be replaceable. That is YouTube's end game. So I don't know. I really doubt this is done for the benefit of Mr. Beast. I know that's a funny thing to say, but that really is not in their end goals at all.
Or fragmentation about what a view actually means. Creators can use this updated, standardized count.
They're anti-monopoly? Well, you have to understand, in the context of this, they have the monopoly on all the content. They get 50% of the ad revenue regardless of any view. They have a complete monopoly. So what they want is a bunch of little players or medium-sized players that none of them leaving could hurt them. But they would hate to have a few super big players that, like right now, if Mr. Beast and Why am I blanking on his name? Who's the old guy? Not the old guy, but he makes the. I'm not blanking on his name. He's got the kits for kids. Mark Rober, the guy who steals cars. Yeah, if Mr. Beast and Mark Rober and a few of these really big people like got the same agency, they would have an insane amount of leverage over YouTube. Because if they all threatened to like upload somewhere else, they could kickstart a new platform, whatever, like that. It wouldn't happen really. YouTube's so big at this point, but that would be the one thing they're afraid of. So I think they prefer
to better understand views across formats and to better communicate the full scale of audience impact to brand partners and sponsors.
Why do they keep trying to flex that as though it's the truth? It's not. You will not be able to use this as a leverage with brand partners that are at least activating a few neurons, because this new exposure metric, the fucking exposure dollars here, is illegitimate. It's not representative of what the brand is actually going to be exposed to in the audience. So let's say you're presenting with 1 million views, but a lot of those are just first frame views because you click.
Yeah, it's also relative, and it happens to everyone at the same time. So if your view counts go up 10%, but so does everyone else's, you can't go to a sponsor and be like, well, I want 10% more money. That's not how that works. They would just compare you to their other options, and it would be about the same. And that's if everything goes up an equal amount. But if you don't do clickbait and your views go up 5% and the clickbaiters go up 20%, you're actually making less money from sponsors because they're chasing down the clickbaiters. So yeah, I think it's pretty bad. Yeah, I do agree that it's pretty fucking stupid.
They are never even going to see the advertisement from the brand, so your performance with them would be fucking terrible, and brands are going to be aware of that. So they're instead going to just ask you for the metrics, the advanced analytics on your engaged views and watch time there. If this actually had an effect on overall watch time, this would torpedo channels. Like, there would be watch time plummeting because so many views that are going to be calculated are just first frame. There's a lot of people that are going to click on videos and maybe they'll hear an AI voice, instantly leave. Maybe they realize they got clickbaited or just decide, I don't really want to stick through this video. They didn't get hooked. They'll leave. And all of that's going to be counted as a view, no matter what. So like, you're never even going to see those ads. So you're not going to be able to leverage that. It's
crazy because even in like the best video I've ever made for an intro or whatever, even in a video where the title and the thumb are instantly paid off with a perfect intro. I'm trying to think of an example of like the highest retention I ever had. Maybe it was like the Hitman $1,000 contract or something where it's like you click it, you know exactly what you're getting. It's paid off instantly with an intro. Even in those, 1 out of every 5 people click off instantly. You know what I'm saying? Like the best possible retention you can get is 80%, roughly. Like that's like a dream retention. And it's still like most people, the second they click a video, get bored and leave. Or do something else or whatever, or misclick, you know? So like, I guess I get 200,000 new views, but it's kind of stupid. Post-click clarity, yeah.
It's worthless. I don't think this is going to have an effect on overall viewership retention, like that metric, because it seems like they preserved that on the back end. But if they didn't, that would be catastrophic, obviously. But yeah, I think they're way off in how this can present to brands. You know what this really reminds me of? It smells like that classic Fextra Life stink. Do you remember a while back, and this had gone on for a long time, Fextra Life on Twitch would have tens of thousands of viewers for every single fucking stream they were doing, no matter what the game was. Even if they were playing, you know, burger. And I couldn't think of a name. Sorry, but like the point is, no matter what Fextra Life was doing on Twitch, they have tens of thousands of viewers, but only like 5 people active in the chat.
Yeah.
So people thought they were botting. Well, it turns out what they were doing is just embedding their stream on their website in the top corner, very, very small, auto-playing on every single page.
It is funny that Twitch cracked down on them for this when Twitch does this with the front page like every day. To all their advertisers. They put it on the front page to artificially juice the views, and they lie to the advertiser and they pretend like they got a bunch of views in their thing, and they didn't. And they want a monopoly on on live stream view botting, but it's state sanctioned view botting.
So anyone that was on their website was counting as a viewer on Twitch. And obviously, if you're trying to sell to brands with like tens of thousands of viewers, the expectation is there's tens of thousands of people actively watching. But that wasn't the case. It was only like ever a handful of people watching, and the rest was just inflated numbers through just being embedded on their website on every single page. So they had crazy viewership numbers that weren't real. That is the exact same DNA here. It is just these crazy inflated numbers that aren't representative of people that have ever even watched the content. Like you can't. I don't know how they think that this is going to work with brands. It can't. It just can't. And they're not going to be so stupid that they don't realize that. And I don't know why they're trying to present this like it's something people have been wanting, this standardization of views. I think any sensible person recognizes that a short view is night and day to a long form view. These are very different and should be calculated differently. They shouldn't be the same.
So I agree with everything he's saying. I'm just less confident that it won't work for YouTube. I guess I'm less confident in that. But at least for the marketer's brand side. Because it's worked for, like, other places, it's worked for them elsewhere. They just fucking buy the big number. But I do think I think it was nice that a YouTube long form view was like a harder to earn thing. It like meant something. It really meant that somebody gave you an actual chunk of their time. Like, I don't know. It's like like if something has a good amount of long form YouTube views, it was I think a decent indicator of quality. Not 100%. Obviously, we've watched many long videos on here that aren't that great, but it meant something. It was one of the better signals of the noise on the internet.
They shouldn't be one frame to count as a view, because with long form, that's not a view. That's nothing. They didn't engage with the content. They didn't even watch it. That could have been an accident, just like it is oftentimes on shorts. Why would they be doing that? Other than to just inflate the numbers across the board on their platform to make it look like long form is really close to like short form views now, even though short forms has really taken over because of so much slop and all the AI generated content that has been infesting it. But it's worthless to like an actual user or creator.
And viewers will know when they see a view count, it's all based on the same model from that first frame. All new videos uploaded after the changes on August 24, 2026 will show the updated first frame view count. All videos uploaded prior to the change will keep their existing view count up until the change. Historical view totals will not be updated retroactively, but following the change, new views on those videos will follow the updated first frame count. To compare performance more consistently, before and after the change, creators can use the engaged views metric in YouTube Studio. An engaged view means the viewer stayed to watch past the first frame and initial seconds. It's how all views were counted historically, which is why they're useful for historical comparisons.
Yeah, it's still much better.
Obviously recognize that there is value in having like the real views, which is the engaged views, versus these artificially inflated ones just because a frame was...
Like, why the fuck would you have a metric called engaged view and think anyone wants a view or it's not engaged? It's like, I guess I get the cynical reason they're doing this, but it's just so lame. It is really lame. Like, nobody fucking wants the guy that clicked in and clicked out. And is it the half-ass view?
Flashed in front of somebody's face like a subliminal message. That's not a view. And there's no real benefit for this. There isn't, except for like big number. But again, if big number's not real, what can you do with it? And not only is it not...
Right, but you have to understand, like, again, these huge fucking brands, they go to TikTok and they get a big number. And then they go to YouTube and they get a smaller number. And they go, well, I guess we'll buy with TikTok. That's it. So the money that YouTube wants is they want to have a number just as big as TikTok's. That's what they want.
Beneficial. I believe it is overall detrimental and further incentivizing creators to just do AI slop and click.
Are executives really that dumb? Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. For sure they're that dumb. For sure.
Bait. Because anything that gets you in the door for that first frame. I just think it sucks. I don't think there's anything good or anything to celebrate about this change. I don't think it's as bad as dislikes being removed. Like, I feel like dislike removal is still the single worst thing YouTube has ever done to their platform, but this isn't that far behind either. This is just a further enshittification of the platform that is going to incentivize more and more garbage to infiltrate it and contaminate it and pollute it. I don't know how this would even make it past the think tank. Like, I feel like at this point, YouTube is predominantly communicating with shorts creators and these content farms because, again, it's like hundreds of billions of views a day through just shorts. So now they probably are just laser focused on what they say. And I do know that what some of them say, at least a good chunk of these YouTube shorts professionals, is that they don't like the discrepancy between their shorts views and their long form views. So you'll find that people that are very active on shorts as their primary interaction with the platform, a lot of those channels have millions and millions and millions of subscribers and are getting millions of views on their shorts. But when you look at their long form videos, like their actual videos, edited piece of content, some of them have like 2,000 views.
They don't get any views.
Like sometimes even less than that, despite millions of subscribers and millions of shorts views. So they often are, calling the wambulance about that because it doesn't look good. And I imagine some of them have voiced that concern to YouTube. So now YouTube's been convinced that it's an issue they've got to tackle. So that way now long form views can play by the same rules that the shorts views have, that people have been able to endlessly
I mean, I don't think it'll change that much unless it's like super clickbaity long form. People that make great shorts often don't make good long form videos. So it's just a different level of quality. And then also it's just different when people, like, they subscribe to you for one thing. They want you to do that thing. And then you do something else and they don't want to watch it. It's more like that. But I don't think I think it's based around content creators complaining. I don't think YouTube gives a fuck about, if they care about what content creators said, they listen to this video. I think they care about what brands, like, if you look at this, Business Insider, like, the way YouTube views the competition, okay? YouTube's the world's biggest video platform. Now it's figured out how to become bigger. Even better, they're going to pull it off without spending a dime. Right? But if you found a way to become bigger in your views without spending a dime, you're just changing the calculation. Like, you know what they should do? Is they should start counting thought views, where if you scroll past a video on your sidebar, but you thought about clicking it, they should give it a view. So that every number can become triple, dude. That's funny too. It's really funny because YouTube is not changed. Like, these views won't affect your payout as a creator. YouTube's like, no, we're not going to use that to figure out how much to pay you. We're going to use engaged views for that. Obviously, we're not going to give you a cut based on your fucking views. We know it's bullshit. But the brand deals you're going to do, they'll fall for it. Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Through this fucking garbage. It's right, I just don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't see any
benefit
to the platform for it.
Engaged views will also remain the view metric used to qualify for Shorts ad and premium revenue sharing in the YouTube Partner Program and for monetization and revenue calculation across all videos.
And you know that these are worthless views. Otherwise, they would be qualifying for the YouTube Partnership Program, right? But you see how easily exploitable they are. You can just hammer F5 and get 100 views yourself on any video in like 5 minutes.
Wait, that's crazy. People are actually going to do that. People are going to refresh their fucking video to try and juice so they can be like, that's crazy. Yeah, it is really stupid.
But YouTube won't count those, because they know that this is a worthless metric. This, like, exposure, like the net exposure of all of it, doesn't actually signify anything. I don't understand. Like, it's very telling. Like, they know that this number is not indicative of anything, because if it was, they would put value on it themselves. But your earnings aren't changing just because this public number goes up from the first frame view. You are not eligible to make it as a YouTube partner through just these first frame views. It still has to be the old.
Have you seen these, bro? These like fucking, they have tons of cheap Chinese smartphones that all install the same app so they can click farm certain things up into the algo. My heaven. Like, this is true bot farm. This is like for, I mean, like state-sponsored propaganda will use this, but also creators will pay for this. Okay, I actually only have 50 viewers on Big A Clips. I just bought a bunch of these. Dude, my closet back there is it's just waves after these. Okay, it's called a little bit of fucking grit and hustle. But there's like creators using them. Wait, a phone bot farm in action. Wait, one more photo. Oh, I deleted it. This woman is so checked out, bro. Oh, that's not me. Hey, that's kind of a job that you could be good at, though. Imagine you put reels on all those. Some of you would be fucking incredible at this. You could lock the fuck in. I mean, it's a human legitimately viewing on a legitimate phone. So you can't catch it by normal bot detection protocols. It's not like a... Bro, that's so dystopian. Yeah, I guess. It was really crazy seeing all the comments on the Magnus video be about you when supposedly bigger creators were there. I wonder how many of them are simply botting. I think most of them were just bigger creators on live. Do you know what I'm saying? There's someone like, she wasn't there, but I'll give you examples like Extra Emily. I was just talking to her about her YouTube channel. She's incredibly massive live. There's not bots. She literally has a huge live audience, but she has a, pretty weak YouTube. She doesn't upload on YouTube very much. Which is why she's selling it to Hulu. I think there's a lot of people that are just like that. They're just really big live, but they haven't built out the YouTube. This has actually worked out. People gotten ahead this way. I mean, some people on Twitch definitely got big with view botting, for sure. For sure. Before they cracked down on it, some people definitely got like, because the problem with Twitch discoverability is you have to be on the top of the directory. The only way. So a lot of people use botting to get like 10K, 20K people, and then they built a real audience, even if it's 7, 8, 9K or whatever, using the bots. Ludwig, but it's okay. No, Ludwig did not do that. What do you think about the controversy with the WNBA? What controversy? The dildos. I've been thinking about this for a month, but for the 10-year sub emote, can you make it a nice big 5%? Tony, you're not even a sub. What are you worried about a 10-year for? You're not a one. Yeah, if you're really planning for 2036. If you started now, 10 years should get his tenure. Yeah, for sure. Okay, wait. I want to talk about this. But let me see if I have what I wanted to talk about, okay? I just wanted to do a little update. But where the funk is my thing? Where the hell is my thing? Wait. Gotta. This one thing. Okay. Japanese furry call that a kawaii leopard. What a great segue, because I wanted to update you on what's going on with Kawhi Leonard, the basketball player. About 11 months ago, we discussed Kawhi Leonard, okay? A really incredibly good basketball player, a generational talent, all right? And he got signed to the LA Clippers by Steve Ballmer. And we discussed the reporting by Pablo Torre that alleged that Steve Ballmer, well, let's set the stage here. Steve Ballmer, you might know him as this guy.
Developers.
Okay?
Developers.
One of the early Microsoft employees, former CEO. Developers. Okay, he's one of the richest men in the world. Bounces around between rank 7 and rank 10, but clearly a richest man. And by the way, in a league where all of the owners are almost billionaire, I mean, almost every owner is a billionaire. He is richer than every other NBA owner combined. He is the richest man in the NBA. The sweatiest man in the NBA too. And so, as happens in sports leagues, there's an advantage to having wealthier backed owners. Okay? They can pay more for players and eventually have super teams that are impossible to stop. The NBA, long ago, instituted what is called a salary cap to try and get around that. Okay? The salary cap basically says that no team can spend more than a certain amount each year, based on revenue of the league, on their salaries to keep everybody at somewhat parity. Here's an example from a few years ago. Okay? They kind of want everybody in the league to be within this band. By the way, I found out while researching this, there is a salary minimum that they had to institute because teams like the Detroit Pistons back then were literally trying to pay people nothing. They went like fucking 1-30 that season, bro. It was terrible. They had to put a salary minimum, okay? They were just trying to farm the TV rights and pay nothing. So anyway, that's the idea, okay? And for a while, it was just, if you spend more than this amount, there's a thing called a luxury tax where you have to pay extra. You have to pay basically, double your money on each amount of salary to the league as a tax. And it's disincentivizing. But he is so rich, he could get around that. He's so rich, he could pay that luxury tax. So recently, they added these things called the first and second apron. Now, these aprons add extra penalties if you spend this much on salary. When you cross the second apron, you start losing draft picks. You start having certain restrictions on who you can and can't trade. There's problems. So it's no matter how much money you have, you really don't want to be up past the second apron or going in that direction. Okay? So the salary cap is the rules to try and keep the team somewhat balanced. But if you're Steve Ballmer and you have the second most popular LA team, and you want to make a big splash, and you're building a multi-billion-dollar stadium, well, you don't want to play by the rules. You don't want to sit around and try to draft smartly over years to suddenly build a good squad. You want to win now. And so Steve Ballmer, allegedly, had a plan. I am going to get my star player, Kawhi Leonard, to re-sign with us for less than he would normally be able to charge so that we are under the salary cap and we can get other stars like Paul George. That's the idea. That was his trick, okay? And how did he do this? Well, this was the great Pulitzer Prize-winning reporting by Pablo Torre, who found out 11 months ago, we reported on this. He found out that there was a green bank startup called Aspiration that planted trees with the excess money in your bank, basically is the idea. And because Aspiration was a failing startup behind the scenes, Steve Ballmer stepped in and wrote them massive checks to keep them afloat. And then they signed a sponsorship deal with Kawhi Leonard and paid him $20, $30, $40 million, okay? So he gave the money to the Green Bank, the bank gave it to Kawhi Leonard, etc. Now, what made this such a smoking gun, what made this reporting so powerful by Paulo Torre, is he found out, first of all, a direct paper trail between LA Clippers signing a deal with Aspiration, Aspiration signing Kawhi Leonard, the money moving, even all that. But he also found out that Kawhi Leonard famously did nothing for them. Okay? So Aspiration spent like $7 million on Leo DiCaprio to do a documentary. They spent like $8 million on Robert Downey Jr. to do a documentary. And they spent $40 million on Kawhi Leonard to do nothing. He did no Instagram posts. He didn't plant a single tree. He didn't make a tweet. He did nothing. It was a complete no-show contract, and yet he got more than every other celebrity combined. And he's not really a personable guy. So obviously you look at this and you go, okay, there is no other way to look at this. Clearly, this guy is circumventing the salary cap. But he denied it. He's rich. He's got this background. He went, no, I didn't do that, okay? He said, it's not up to me what Aspiration does with its sponsorships, okay? I just gave them money. Who they choose to sponsor is none of my business. If they think Kawhi would be a great fit, that's their call. Okay? It's a horrible defense because it requires you to be an absolute child to believe, all right? But that's the defense. And everybody was hoping there would be some kind of punishment for Steve Ballmer. That was the idea. Somebody better punish this guy. Well, the NBA stepped in, Commissioner Adam Silver, and they said, okay, you know what? We're going to investigate. We are going to get to the bottom of this. Don't worry. Thank you, Pablo Torre. We'll take it from here. And they hired a high-powered law firm, Wachtell and Lipton, and they said, okay, we're going to look into it. And then months passed, and months passed, and months passed. And now it's been basically 11 months. And they've been like not saying anything, until finally the ESPN breaks the story yesterday that the NBA is about to release its findings. Now, we don't have their exact findings yet, but we have what ESPN is standing by the reporting of. And they said the NBA is about to release that they have no evidence Ballmer funneled money to Leonard via sponsors. He's going to get off scot-free. We waited 11 months with all the evidence wide in the open, infinite amount of ways you could tackle this, including Pablo Torres. He had people from these companies come on with a voice changer in their face disguise, but admit on camera, hey, yeah, I worked at Aspiration. We were funneling money. Like everyone there was confused why we were sponsoring Kawhi. And then when you ask about it, it's because, yeah, it's to help out, Steve Ballmer. Like, okay, the evidence is overwhelming, but the NBA is about to find them not guilty. And there's like a side of you that thinks this is pretty fucking obvious kowtowing to the richest billionaire in the league who nobody wants to piss off because he just spent billions on a brand new stadium. That's what it seems like. But what's extra funny is that right before this is about to release, Pablo Torre, who did the original reporting and has done 14-part series over the years, dropped another update where he uncovered Kawhi's other hidden deal. He found out that not only were they funneling money to Aspiration, but he found out that the Jumbotron company Daktronics, wait, give me 1 second. I want to hide this graph so you can see the reveal. The Jumbotron company yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay. This is a company that makes those giant screens for stadiums. That's what they do. And they were having a pretty tough time in their business. It was doing worse and worse and worse and worse. And then right here, they sign a deal with Steve Ballmer to do a gigantic series of Jumbotrons for his brand new stadium. Okay? And then all of a sudden, the company bounces back. And so it seems like Steve Ballmer has a lot of influence. He basically stepped in to save Daktronics. Okay, maybe he just helped a good struggling company out. Maybe he didn't get anything in return. Maybe they just made a good product and he bought it and that started rejuvenating their fortunes. But what's interesting is, right at this exact same time is when Steve Ballmer is doing the negotiations with Kawhi Leonard for his renewed contract. And what Pablo Torre found out, okay, is that Daktronics signed a secret no-show sponsorship deal with Kawhi Leonard at the same time for millions of dollars. Whoa. So that's two separate deals around the same time that this basketball player gets signed to, where he doesn't have to do anything, post anything, announce anything, or show up to anything. And both of those companies are connected very closely with Steve Ballmer exactly when he's doing contract negotiations. That's just very interesting. And this one's even more egregious because unlike Aspiration, which sponsored some celebrities, Daktronics has never sponsored public celebrities because they are a Jumbotron company that only sells to billionaires building stadiums. Why would they hire Kawhi Leonard to do nothing? They're not public facing. So anyway, this paper trail has become ever more obvious. These deals have started to add up. Again, he got more people on camera. I wonder if I can get a clip actually for you. Give me 1 second. It'll be worth it. We have to cut out this middle time, but I think it's worth it. I have a clip. I timestamped. I think I have. Yeah, 2409. Let's see if I can find it. 24.
23 and 2024.
Yeah,
Preceded.
Here's an insider from Daktronics.
I have also spent the last 11 months on a third parallel investigation
project that Kawhi thing out,
but also obvious, which once again reminded me of the Kawhi sponsor that allegedly preceded it, Aspiration.
This was talked about just openly within the organization and from people working on the project that Kawhi was a spokesperson for Daktronics. And it was just the biggest thing. It was just openly joked about within people working on the project that knew about this, as it was 1000% a way to circumvent the salary cap.
But the NBA says there is no evidence at all. That there's not any there's no evidence that this guy has done anything, even remotely untoward. By the way, the Clippers in 2015, prior to all this happening, did get fined for salary cap evasion. They've been caught doing it before. And yet now that it's bigger and higher profile, they say nothing. So the update is that it seems like he's going to get away with it. And what's wild to me, what is so, I don't know, maybe it's a sports fan thing, but it feels so bootlicky, is if you go on certain parts of the internet, especially Clippers fans, they're like all celebrating. They're like, fuck Pablo Torre. Never a doubt our boy Steve was innocent. Dude, they had this photo, Big Balmy beat the case. Bro is the 9th richest man in the world. I thought this one was funny too. How it feels to be a Clippers fan right now when it's fucking OJ. It's crazy though. And look, I'll be honest with you. There's like a lot of NBA stories I could cover too. I want to talk about what's going on with the Lakers and Bob Iger and Josh Kushner buying the team. But what's wild is it's just, I think this story is hitting a lot of people. It's really taken over the NBA subreddit. Everyone's talking about it. And I think people are extra frustrated about it because it's like symbolic of what's happening in life outside of sports, which is just this complete lack of any, even minor consequences for obvious bad behavior by rich people. Like nobody is in any doubt as to what happened here. The coincidences are too obvious. Nobody thinks that Daktronics suddenly decided to break bad and give Kawhi Leonard millions of dollars to do nothing. Okay? And so it's making people angry. It's making people just like, I think, frustrated that this is seeped into what is sort of an escapism thing, which is sports. Whether they'll do anything about it, I don't know. Like, I'm pissed about all this. Will I still watch Luka play on the Lakers? Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe. I can enjoy it. But it frustrates me. It's very, very annoying. And what's extra problematic is the NBA has a history with this back in the day, and they punished it appropriately. So, like, when this happened to the Timberwolves, and they circumvented the salary cap to sign Joe Smith, I think they got him a Lexus deal and set it up. They got seriously punished. They lost 5 first-round picks. They got a multi-million-dollar fine. They voided the contract. The owner got suspended, and the GM had to take a leave of absence. There was like a serious punishment. Then they walked a little bit of it back, but like literally it was like a signal to the league, like, hey, don't do this. But now that Steve Ballmer has done it and is making this face and nobody cares, it's like an open signal that everybody should be cheating. There is no punishment. Salary cap does not matter. The richest teams will get all the star players. It's like, it undermines even the like veneer of trust you might have. It's fucked, dude. I think it's fucked. The aprons won't matter. Like, people are just going to, and what's crazy is all the NBA players have almost like adapted to this. If you'll notice, if you're an NBA fan, almost every NBA player is starting a podcast now. My understanding is that podcasts are one of the best ways to circumvent a salary cap because they can have anybody sponsor your podcast. So if you have a podcast, even with no fucking views that you just regularly do, people can circumvent the salary cap by fucking dumping money into it. All right? So it's just, I think it's just whack. Now, I will say this. The NBA did come out and say, I wonder if I have an image of this somewhere. The NBA did come out and say that there's some flaws in ESPN's reporting here, and they'll all be handled in due time when they release the full report. However, ESPN doubled down and said they trust their reporting and they're confident that the NBA will not be punishing Steve Ballmer. So my only hope is this. After this report came out yesterday, he hasn't done a new episode since then, but Pablo Torre came out and said, I might have another thing to release. So the only hope is that right as the NBA drops their final report and says he's completely innocent, that is when Pablo Torre drops his final bullet in the chamber and reveals even more obvious truths that they've been lying. That's what we're kind of hoping. I don't know what else could be in the tank. It feels like he's really mined all of these opportunities. How much more could Kawhi have gotten paid? But that's the hope. That is the fucking hope, and that's where we're at, dude. That's the update on what's happening with Kawhi Leonard in the NBA. But shout out to Pablo Torre, who's done some truly incredible work. I've really enjoyed watching him break this down. What's extra funny is that he had Mark Cuban on when this first broke and interviewed him, and Mark Cuban defended Steve Ballmer, probably because Mark Cuban did this himself when he was head of the Mavs. And he caught him in some lies now that so much more evidence has come out. So like the way he staggered it has been really good at like people thinking he's used all his ammo and they say some shit that gets proven wrong, which is impressive. I think if you're listening, Adam Silver, I know you watch the Big A broadcast, you got to do some punishment. Okay. The world might be able to move on if you suspended him for a few months. Do something. But the fact that you're going to tell us with a straight face that he did nothing wrong is so fucked up. And because, guys, you may not know this is not a crime. Circumventing the salary cap is not a crime. Like, the police can't do anything. It's just the league and the millions and millions of fans that want some level of idea that it's kind of fair. And to do nothing is just an open signal that it doesn't matter anymore. It's a Mickey Mouse. Yeah, anyway, that's the update. Hope you enjoyed. D1 pocket watcher. I'm not a pocket watcher, dude. Oh, wow. Kawhi can't get paid. Oh, wait. That's a good thing to end on. Fran, that's a great question. Actually, I'm glad you asked that. So if you guys don't watch basketball, you might be asking, all right, well, all of this scamming they did, all of this backroom deals, Daktronics, Aspiration, there was a soccer club, all of this stuff they did to funnel money to Kawhi. Did it work? Did they get a championship? The answer, fuck no. It was a crash and burn. It was a crash and burn season. They paid in secret more than every other NBA team, and they still lost. They had an all-star lineup, and they still lost. So there is some justice in basketball, but if you allow this, eventually someone will crack the formula, and it'll be more like, some like European soccer leagues where it's just dynastic amounts of money and the same few teams win consistently. Yeah, that's where it'll end up. Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs. Like F1, or yeah. Sorry I'm late, but do you believe there's inaccuracies with the NBA reporting? What I will say is, no, I mean, with the ESPN report, what I'm saying is the NBA is saying, don't trust what ESPN said. We'll wait for our full report. But I trust that ESPN is correct, that the NBA is not planning on punishing Steve Ballmer. That's what I trust. I don't know if the report has every exact detail correct on what they're going to announce, but the core idea of it is that ESPN is saying that the NBA is prepared to release a report that is not going to punish Steve Ballmer, and I think they're not. And ESPN, by the way, they could have been like, hey, well, that's what we our sources. They doubled down. They said, no, we're 100% standing by our reporting. So I think they have a lot to lose if they're just dead wrong. The author of that report has been chilling for Ball for a while. Oh, yeah. Also, wait, last thing is yeah, I think Pablo talked about this too, but the law firm that was hired to investigate Steve Ballmer and the Clippers is announcing that they're concluding negotiations with his team. And it's in any normal investigation, you're not actively negotiating with the person you're investigating with. You're not as part of a, you just investigate them if they find out they did a crime or not. You don't negotiate with the police don't negotiate when they're investigating a crime. It's crazy. So I do think that he's just been given so much leeway on this. And of course, they're not going to find him guilty. But I did look up, where is this? I did look up what constitutes a salary cap circumvention. Okay? Article 13 of the NBA CBA, collective bargaining agreement, about salary cap circumvention. This is the direct quote, okay? It counts as evidence, even if it's circumstantial evidence, if an arrangement between a player and a sponsor cannot rationally be explained. Okay? That applies 1-to-1. You cannot rationally explain the deal with Daktronics or with Aspiration. A 50-year-old business-to-business scoreboard company with zero celebrity endorsement history suddenly hires Kawhi Leonard right as he's negotiating with Steve Ballmer is fucking crazy. It's obviously breaking the rule. He just really likes those jumbotrons. Kawhi is the LeBron of jumbotrons. All right, wait. We'll do a quick poll. I'll do this quick poll. How many of you were in the market for a jumbotron for your home and you decided to buy from Daktronics after seeing that Kawhi Leonard was one of their sponsors, which you couldn't have because it wasn't public. But okay, so a lot of you, wow. So maybe it really was a good idea for the man cave. You bought a you bought a multi-million-dollar jumbotron for your man cave because of Kawhi Leonard. All right, well, in that case, I guess he's innocent. Wow, he's innocent. I'm glad we solved it here. Thank you for the 9 months, Sulker Z. I was interested, but I was waiting for the price to come down a little. The fact that people are getting away with corruption alert. Yeah, listen, this is what I was trying to hint at without trying to be too doomer about it, but I think it was just heartbreaking in this case. Not heartbreaking, but really a bummer, because the punishment wouldn't have ruined it wouldn't even have been that. He is a fucking billionaire. He's one of the richest men ever. The punishment would have been like, oh, your team gets a few draft picks taken away. You get a small $1 million fine that you can take. Like, it wouldn't have been devastating, but it would have sent the signal like, hey, don't do this. But instead, he gets nothing. He gets absolutely no punishment, and it just makes you so annoyed that they just have a different rule system. We all know that it's true, but it's, in this case, so blatant. And what's wild about it is if Kawhi Leonard had done one Instagram post one time for either of these two brands, his lawyers and all his defenders would have had a million times better argument of like ammo. If he had done just one thing, plant one tree, said one nice thing about Daktronics, he would have had plausible deniability. It would have been like, hey, maybe that's worth a lot. Maybe that tweet is worth a lot to the company. But because he did absolutely nothing, it is so obvious that they cheated. So that laziness, I guess, I don't know. The fact that he could do that and still get away with it is crazy. They're just lying to our face. Why didn't Bombers pay the luxury tax? I think I covered that at the beginning, but the way they've changed the system is that if you break these first and second aprons, you get penalties beyond just the luxury tax. It's more than just money. You lose picks, you lose the ability to do certain trades, use lures. So you can't do it. You can't get to a certain point past second apron. What if Bob Iger does the same for the Lakers? Well, wait a minute. Whoa. What if Bob Iger starts offering Disney sponsorships behind the scenes to get star players to join the Lakers? I mean, hold up. You can't ask me to start thinking about that. Yeah, that's just good business, all right? That's different. It's because he's not bald like Ballmer. He has a full head of hair. No, I would be frustrated as well. I'm not happy with the fucking Bob Iger-controlled Lakers. Time to lace up Goofy. Yeah, we're going to see a Luka Magic Castle. We're going to see Luka doing a bit part in a Disney movie, dude. And all of a sudden, he's signing for half the amount for the Lakers. Would you consider this the beginning of the future enshittification of all sports? No, not at all. If anything, I think the main thing pushing sports enshittification is gambling. This is just like this has definitely happened before in the NBA. Many players have gotten like behind the scenes deals or sponsorship things or free cars or some shit to get them to sign the dotted line. But in general, it's all been like relatively chump change, like a few $100,000, like not, a little bit to sway you. This is the first example of like $50 million that should have been in your salary, but they cut it out. Like very well coordinated. It's the largest example the biggest example and the most obvious example. So it's like the one where they punished less obvious examples than this that were smaller, but because he's so big and so connected and so rich, he gets away with it. And it's just a big fuck you. And it's like an open season now. That's why it's so frustrating. It's not that it's never happened before and like in the NBA is so sacrosanct. It's like it's the most egregious and biggest. And it's like, well, we can't punish him. He's rich. The Lakers story of PE getting involved. Dude, the Lakers story, the real interesting thing about the Lakers story that I'm trying to dig into now is that the owner of the Lakers, Mark Walter, who bought it, 2 years ago, less than that, year and a half ago? No, a year ago. Fucking 1 year turnaround. He is in some serious financial trouble. And it ties in to private equity and insurance. And there's a lot of shit that I'm reading about. And it's like a bigger financial story. Like he is one cockroach that is skittering away, but a lot of these private equity billionaires are like trying to get cash fast. And when you dig into it, the really fucking crazy thing is that you find that a ton of private equity companies are buying insurance companies and then taking people's insurance money and funneling it back into their business. And if they have to pay out the insurance money, they like there's some like weird financial fraud going on where that's like buried under the fucking surface. But the second there's a redemption request from private equity, you find out that the insurance money isn't there. So I'm trying to fucking deep dive on that. I want to do a bigger presentation because I think it's not just a basketball story. It's like a story of all these crazy private equity redemption requests. And anyway, anytime you see billionaires scrambling for cash, it's a sign of some shit's about to be fucked. Something's about to be fucked, bro. Like Mark Walters is fire selling everything. He's selling fucking the soccer club. He's selling the Lakers. He needs money quick. And I don't think he has enough. I think the Lakers gave him a third of what he owes. So definitely some tides going out. He might have to sell the Dodgers. Yeah, I don't think he wants to, but he might have to. Anyway, interesting stuff. Interesting fucking stuff, bro. Hey, Heat, thank you for the prime. 32 months. Frox Lines, thank you for the prime. Can't you offer him a loan? Let him hold $1? What's gold at? I think gold went back down, bro. Yep. I'm only up 80% on gold, bro. It used to be 120. I was living large. And now here I'm at a fucking Chungus 82. Baroque, dude. Fucking Baroque. Living like Larry. Oh yeah, Nike. Speaking of sports, dude, Nike hit I don't think it's an all-time low, but I think it's like a 30 or 40-year low today. Nike stock just fucking. The Nike stock plunge is relentless. Its lowest level since September 2014. Down 80% from its all-time high. Dude, remember when I said AirPods would be bigger than Nike? And that was when Nike was like a big company. That was when Nike was like at the top, at their peak. Now, we needed something new. Dude, I saw a hilarious chart. It was on Wall Street Bets. Wait, I'll draw it for you. Unless someone can find it. I saw hilarious. They truth is. It was like it was like I can't draw it. They just drew the Nike logo, but reversed, and it was like buy the dip. It's about the whoosh. It's the other way. I know, but they did it reverse. They did a reverse Nike logo where this part whooshed. And they were like, that's a good enough DD for me. And then I'm going to buy the dip. Just do it. Check the comments. Let's see. Oh, yeah, dude, there was this guy. He said, this stock dropped today. He said, I will delete my account if Nike stock closes before $40 today. Newsflash, it won't happen. And he wrote a whole reason why. And then it closed at $39.40. This was the just do it. This shit was funny. Yeah, they're cooked, bro. I feel like the whole Nike identity is gone. What does Nike even mean anymore? What do they stand for? They don't. It doesn't feel like anything to have Nike products anymore. What's the new big shoe brand? I mean, in the West, Adidas has been doing pretty well. And then the Chinese brands have been making a killing. Anta and then there's Hoka. Yeah. There's On Cloud. Yep. That's On. The fucking Swedish brand. Why did Nike fall off so fast considering their shoes? We talked about it before, but the thing that really blew Nike up was they were making so much money in like post-COVID, 2020, 2021. They're making so much money in online retail. They thought that was like the future of their business. So they're like, you know what? We get higher margins when we sell directly online. Let's pull out of every store. They closed that. They pulled out of like Foot Locker or every public store where Nike was, they pulled out of it, except for a few Nike flagships. And they went entirely online. But the problem is that like people discover shoes through that. They like seeing your shoes, trying them on, seeing them. They look cool. They went like to only established buyers, and those guys bought less and less. So they kind of blew up their consumer-facing marketing. And then they tried to claw it back, but by that time, all the shelf space had been replaced by new interesting brands. Like before, you'd go to Foot Locker and they had to deal with them to have like Nike be front and center and like a big part of the display. But by the time they came back, they'd been replaced by Hoka and On, and the shoe pipeline was fucked up. Yeah, and the guy that made the strategy got a huge bonus. I don't think he got $500 million bonus, but he got a big bonus and they got fired. So it was really stupid. It was really stupid. But I also just feel like they've kind of lost their identity. Like they've tried to be too many different things. I feel like the era of Nike being like this ultimate athlete's shoe, and they would get the bet, like Michael Jordan, best athlete. You know, like that just feels gone. And now there's like higher end shoes that just do that, and there's mass market shoes that are cheaper than them, and so they're expensive but not like elite. Windover has a good video. I'm down to watch it. Bro. Learn a little bit. What did Windover find about Nike? How long is it? How Nike lost its way.
This is...
Let's watch it. Not even that long. How Nike lost its way, Windover.
Beaverton, Oregon. It's within this wooded, comparatively quiet Portland suburb where Nike's been headquartered since the 70s. It's here on this 400-acre campus, replete with a jogging trail, a running track, a soccer
Dude,
pitch,
they do have the sickest fucking campus. It's cool. Yeah, I got to go because I had a friend who didn't even work there, but he knew someone who worked there, and yeah, I got to go. It was cool.
basketball gym, a research lab, and countless office buildings where Nike is desperately trying to get
Is it
their
cooler than
business
Twitch?
back on
Oh
track.
yeah, Twitch doesn't have a campus.
Peaceful on the outside.
It's way cooler than Nvidia, which has like a big campus, but it's all corporate. Twitch is just a building. Twitch is a cooler office for gamers. It has like gaming consoles and arcades and a 5-on-5 PC setup to play, in-house Counter-Strike and shit. But Twitch is like not that big.
Panic is mounted within the company as it loses market share in the athletic shoe market it helped pioneer. Bungling launches and failing to innovate, America's largest shoe company is in a funk. While 67% of the company's total revenue comes from shoes, nowhere on this campus will you actually find a shoe factory. Nowhere in the US, nor the world, in fact, will you find a Nike-owned shoe factory because Nike's not a shoemaker. Its business is more abstract. The company's SEC filings will tell you it's not a shoe company at all, but rather list the Nike and swoosh design trademarks as its most valuable assets. To Phil Knight, the company's founder now in his late 80s, Nike's business is inspiring and innovating for athletes, while the filings call it a company that provides design, development, and worldwide marketing and selling of athletic footwear, apparel, equipment, accessory, and services. In other words, Nike's not a shoemaker, but a tastemaker. And tastemaking, when it comes to shoes, is a pretty fickle business.
Sure.
Shoes are tools, but not just for walking and working. A study by researchers at the University of Kansas has shown that when subjects are just shown someone's footwear without any other context, they're able to guess with fairly high accuracy the age, gender, income range, and even personality traits and political leanings of the person in question. The finding only...
You can guess someone... Wait, does anyone want to test this? Can you take a photo of your shoes and send it on Twitter at Atrioc right now? You can post it. Hashtag shoe guess. Okay, Dan Shot. I did not say your feet. I did not say your feet. I said your shoes. Shoes only. I don't want feet. I want shoe. You can even not have your feet in them. It actually might be more fun to guess. I do not want feet images. I just wonder if I can guess. It's funny, no matter what the shoes are, you're an Atrioc chatter, so I'm gonna guess like furry. I'm gonna guess like woke furry. Probably it'll be wildly different pairs of shoes, and I'm gonna all right. Someone posted? Let me see. Or you can just I don't want you to DM me. All right, what was the hashtag you used? Shoe guess? Hashtag shoe guess? All right. Someone did it. Someone did it. Let's guess based on this. Well, you're a man and income range. I'd say you're doing all right. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess white guy, 75K. I want to say post college. I don't know why I want to say that. I want to say post college 20 something. Am I close? Where am I at? Emperor Zitz. Just guess your demo. My demo's a little younger than that, I think, actually. I said post-college. But I'm trying to use the image of the photo, but I also have another pair of shoes in the background. This like laceless Vans, or what are these? Laceless Converse? This, you could be anything. You could be a hipster, bro. Oh, also the shoes are tied when you're not wearing them, so you slip in and out. I guess you need to post your Twitch name in the replies so that I know. Oh, Zitzfits? Okay, what did Zitzfits say? Let's get the answer. User Zitzfits. You said, these are my shoes. I'm white, 63K, 2 years post-grad. I baked it, bro. I said 70. Sorry, you'll get there. The raise is coming. The raise is coming. The raise is fucking coming. But yo, that is fucking on the money. That is on the money, bro. Now I'm just gonna guess the same thing for every person. Damn! Wait a minute. Okay, wait. How would you even guess this person? Bro, I don't know. Like, I don't know. You are clearly a shoe collector. But dude, the problem is like sneaker collecting is not like, I guess it can be. It's like hard to tell if it's like a wealthy hobby. He's rich? Like you could be I'm not saying you're broke, bro, but you could be middle class or whatever and have a nice sneaker collection and like trade. Dude in his 30s? Interesting. I think you got to have a little bit of bread. I would say, yeah, early 30s. I would say early 30s. I'm going to say 110K. This is you, Delete Labs? All right, what's the answer? But you know what I'm going to say? You said 28, 175K. Can I ask a question? Software engineer? This is going to sound crazy. Not white? Not white? I'm kind of cheating with your profile picture. Am I But I can't tell because you could black and proud. Okay. All right. So much for the demographics is destiny. People say we're gonna fucking nail it. All right, that was a tougher pick, but thanks for sharing. All right. Anyway, what else we got? I'll do one more. Let's see. Shoe guess. What is this? For sale baby shoes never worn? What the hell? What is the answer here? You are you're my oldest chatter. You're my oldest chatter. You make $1.2 million a year. Boss baby off fit. This is the boss baby. This is the boss baby. J Ray, what's the answer? This could be a British high schooler. Hobby wants to do a shoe guess. Oh, okay. Wait, I'll do one more because this one's interesting. Based on this, I say young hobby. I don't know. I get the vibe of like early 20s, if not like late teens, like 19 to 23 range. And I want to say, I mean, you're giving a little bit of maybe athletic. You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering if you climb. And I will say white. I would say white, 21, 22. And probably not like economically crushing. I mean, I'm not saying whatever, but I was saying like early career, you know? I don't know what the pay is, maybe like 30, 40K, whatever. Early career, 20 to 50. What, really off? Oh, what am I on? What am I? You're 38? Dude, I'm terrible at this. I fell off. He's 38 and he's paid, dude. And the lighting's nice and he's got a wood floor, right? I'll just fucking misread. Adidas is that a fashion hunk? Yeah, I think Adidas is fucking cool. Maybe that's why I like it. I thought I was giving it youthful energy. Maybe I like Adidas shoes, so I was like, this must be a cool young guy. That's a fucking 38-year-old, bro. God damn. All right. All right, I'll go back to this video. Anyway, that's interesting.
Backs what consumers already knew, though. People judge based on shoes and recognize they get judged based on shoes, so they make shoe choices to cultivate an image or tell their own personal story, whether that be who they are or who they aspire to be. Extroverts will reach for norm-disrupting red shoes, while those hoping to not stick out will prioritize quieter shoes and bland styles, for instance. One way or another, we use shoes to understand others, and so we in turn select shoes to help frame how people think of ourselves. Shoe and shoe selection tell stories, and Nike used to be the best storyteller. If you don't know the story of Nike's rise, it's laid out across the map of the company's campus. At the end of One Bowerman Drive, named after the company co-founder, on the shore of Lake Nike, neighboring the Michael Jordan and John McElroy buildings, and across from the Ronaldo Field, is Steve Prefontaine Hall, appropriately at the core of the campus. Few characters embody the Nike story like Steve Prefontaine, or Pre, and that's by design. Before Nike was a giant, before it was even called Nike, it was little more than the young, ambitious Phil Knight, a lifetime runner himself, importing sleek Japanese running shoes. It was a disruptor, a plucky—
What if we kissed in Ronaldo Field? I went 7th grade in the middle of nowhere and shoes were everything. Yeah, I remember shoes being a big deal. Or like having cool new sneakers was like a cool thing for sure. I remember that. And Nikes were cool. You know, but it feels like it's a bit of a fall off.
The underdog, a fighter looking to carve out just a bit of market share in a nascent American jogging boom at the beginning of the 1970s. At about the same time that Nike started gaining momentum, a scrappy runner from an old coastal logging town in Oregon was beginning to rise. Prefontaine ran distance events for the University of Oregon under coach Bill Bowerman, who was also designing running shoes for Nike. As Pre began to establish himself as America's best distance—
What shoes you wear now? I have the running shoes I bought in China from Anta. And I have some boots. I have orthopedic shoes. Should you guys upload the picture?
Runner, it was only natural that he joined the brand.
And I have some Jesus sandals. Yeah, I have some Jesus sandals, honestly. I have some Jesus sandals because it's hot here in LA and I like to walk around in my sandals.
He's central to Nike's rise, not just because he was good at track, but because of how he went about being good at track. Prefontaine won a host of collegiate titles, he set American records, he went to Munich in 1972 to represent the US at the Olympics, he was an undeniable talent. He was also a character. He was a working-class kid from a tough industrial town. He was small, scrappy, handsome, and brash. He was cocky, but he backed it up with a work ethic that's still revered in American running culture. He appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 19. His races were aired on national TV. His Go Pre t-shirts became so popular they were met by a backlash of Stop Pre shirts. He was an American star, and he wore Nike.
Okay.
When signed to the company, Pre repped Nike shoes at run clubs and public meetups. He traveled to high school and college programs to demo them. He sent them to friends and rivals around the world. He pushed the product, and the producer, a brash upstart of its own, embodied the kid's spirit. Nike was doing it their own way too, with shoes that pushed the boundaries, first with the Nike Cortez that added midsole cushioning for runners. They then took the technology another step forward with the Nike Waffle Trainer, designed to be lightweight and grippy while staying comfortable and padded. Ultimately, a fatal car crash claimed Pre before he was able to wear his own signature shoe, the Pre Montreals, but his indomitable spirit had catalyzed a movement. Title IX and televised track races and marathons helped spur a running boom that saw an estimated 25 million new runners enter the scene in the US across the decade, and they wanted to be like Pre.
Okay.
They went with Nike, the upstart all about running and innovating comfortable shoes that were also worn by the most iconic and inspirational runner the US had produced. The running revolution transformed the American shoe landscape too. As running took off and the shoes became more comfortable, it became okay to wear trainers not to train, but in everyday life. At the beginning of the 1970s, athletic shoes only accounted for 1 in every 12 pairs sold. By 1979, it was 1 in 4 pairs. The shoe game had transformed, and Nike was in the middle of it.
Okay.
By 1980, Nike made up 50% of all running shoe sales in the US and was quickly closing the gap on Adidas in total athletic shoe sales. And with the success of the Pre partnership, Nike now had a model to grow into other spaces too.
Yeah, get a big
It recognized
athlete.
a trend, in this case an uptick in running and jogging in the US. It found someone who embodied the movement, and then it leaned into it, creating further demand and
still do
momentum
that.
within the movement. It recognized what was becoming cool and helped make it cool at the same time. But fashion changes fast, and in the 80s, culture went urban.
I feel like it's just like if you're a super sick upstart athlete now. Dude, did you see that Ant Edwards was like filmed on camera freestyle rapping, and he's like, fuck Nike. Oh my like it just feels like Nike's lost the that he's like the modern Michael Jordan of the NBA. And instead of Michael Jordan being like, I love Nike, I bleed for Nike, it's him being like, fuck Nike. So
jogging shoes
just
weren't
lost
cool.
the culture.
Basketball shoes were. It caught Nike flat-footed, reporting its first losses in 1984 and sending it scrambling to reinstate Phil Knight's active control of the company to fight back on the encroaching Converse, New Balance, and Reebok. Nike had the model, but neither the shoe nor the
in
athlete.
jeans?
Then it set its crosshairs on a young promising player in Michael Jordan. While the legacy may speak for itself today, as Michael Jordan would become the best basketball player in the world, and the Jordan brand, a branch of Nike, would itself become one of the largest shoe brands in the world, the
Bigger than
strategy
AirPods.
at the time was extremely bold. Not the first pick in the draft and playing a position not yet associated with basketball dominance, Jordan was hardly a lock to be the face of the league when he went into the National Basketball Association. Nike was making a bet on upside.
Yeah.
Without a past in basketball shoes and far behind the Converse and Adidas basketball brands, they had to be bold to compete and creative to find a niche to gain a foothold in the space and to convince an entirely unconvinced Jordan to even join the brand in the first place. They melded bold and creative with the shoe design and marketing campaigns
the movie
all
Air.
in one. At the time, basketball shoes to be worn in the NBA had to be 51% the color white. But Nike had an idea. Make a flashy, colorful Michael Jordan shoe, ignore the rule, and simply deal with the consequences.
Sheesh.
It'd be worth the visibility regardless, it'd fit the brand, and it'd excite the player. In 1984, a rookie Michael Jordan took the court with shoes that intentionally broke the rules, and Nike paid the $5,000 fine. It was genius.
I mean, it really
Ultimately,
is
he'd
cool.
only-
It really was a genius marketing move. It was fucking cool. They just paid the fine. And then everyone talked about it. And then, Letterman had him on and talked about how he broke the rules, and it became a cool rebel rule-making shoe.
Wear them on 3 occasions that season.
You know what? At least he got fined. Nowadays, Steve Ballmer could fucking walk on the court and punch an opposing player to help the Clippers win, or kick him with his steel-toed boots. They wouldn't find him shit.
As the NBA promised to make a stronger stand on the issue should it persist, but 3 times proved plenty. They pushed the Jordan 1 on the message that not only is this your new favorite player's shoe, it's a shoe so radical in counterculture, it's banned from the game it's designed for. The shoe, in turn, sold out immediately and totaled $126 million in sales in its first year.
Beast.
Nike stuck to the same playbook as they grew into other realms. It was Prefontaine and running in the 70s, it was Jordan and basketball in the 80s, it was Tiger Woods and golf in the 90s, Serena Williams and tennis alongside Ronaldo and soccer in the 2000s. Nike became the world's biggest by backing the mold breakers and acting like they were the bold up-and-comers themselves. They had an edge. They were for winners. They didn't make excuses, they just did it. And customers took it hook, line, and sinker. But a problem. and a fundamental one at that.
Okay.
When a company is born out of the idea of a scrappy underdog disruptor, but succeeds to the point where it's now the industry leader, it's hard to maintain that same identity and relentless drive. Fast forward to the 2026 Winter Olympic Games.
Okay.
What you see is Team USA covered head to toe in Nike. But this isn't a picture of Nike's maintained dominance. Rather, it's what the company hopes will be the beginning of a comeback story. These American athletes are wearing a Nike sub-label called All Conditions Gear, or ACG, and the fact that this hasn't reached name brand recognition across a public audience highlights one of the brand's many fumbles in the past 20 years. The running shoe market has taken a unique path in the last decade.
What the fuck is ACG? Why is Nike trying to create a fucking brand new sub-brand? Are they embarrassed of being Nike?
Running shoes of all sorts are as popular as ever, but trail running shoes, a comparatively rugged off-road option, are especially hot.
ACG is nice.
While trail runners make up a fraction
why not
of total
call it
running
Nike?
shoe sales, a number cited at
They own
12% in 2022, they're steadily outpacing conventional running shoes in projected annual compound growth. Running shoes are in, but trail runners are even more in. And just as trainers, basketball shoes, and running shoes found their way into casual fashion in the past, now so too have trail runners. Brands specializing in maximally cushioned trail shoes like Hoka have wormed their way into everyday shoe rotations for service jobs and weekend chores alike. Salomon's rugged mountain running shoes have unexpectedly become popular with Gen Zers in the urban environs of New York City. It goes further, too. This outdoor gear popularity has expanded beyond shoes. It's called Gorpcore. It's led to urban fashion and urban celebrities turning to outdoor brands and their Gore-Tex offerings to establish today's taste. It means a big uptick in sales for trail running suppliers, of which Nike is desperately trying to catch up by relaunching its outdoor line in 2026. What's glaring is not only that Nike is late to the trend, but the fact that this is a trend they helped establish, but lacked the vision to see through.
Yikes.
Nike launched its first trail shoe in 1984, it launched ACG in 1988, and it helped invent the trail shoe, taking the tread of hiking boots and matching them with the uppers of running shoes. It was a visionary in the technology, and it began to build out the style too, blending performance with the signature Nike brashness.
Okay.
The color, the prints, the fun that the outdoor space lacked. But in the 2000s, they let the branch wither on the vine. The lack of follow-through and vision became a theme. This is Nike's total market share of athletic shoes in 2000. It holds a dominant 42% of all sales and outpaces its next three largest competitors combined.
Okay.
And this is what its market share looked like in 2022. With the Jordan brand under the Nike umbrella, it still maintains a similarly strong...
You know what, though? This is kind of beast. Like, for consumers, you have a ton of choice, a ton of competitors, ton of innovation in shoe design. It's kind of sick. It's kind of sick, bro. It's competition, bro. There's a lot of cool shit.
36% market share. It still outpaces the next three largest brands in the space combined, but market share serves as only a freeze frame in time. It doesn't consider momentum, and these brands that are beginning to claw away market share are making big moves.
Sam,
Hoka, New Balance, Saucony, Puma, and Asics are some of the names,
I haven't heard
with
of
Brooks and
Saucony.
On that are leading the charge in the
Are they setting up for a sock on D's? Is this a joke that Wendover threw in to try and catch me? You're not going to catch me. I've never heard of sock on D, dude.
Specialty running market. Now, specialty running shoes is a rather vague term, but effectively it's a host of brands that are innovating hard in
Saucony been around? No, I believe you. I'm just...
More broadly, it can be understood as
bought
companies that are out-innovating Nike. In specialty running shops, stores with educated staff selling running shoes to runners, essentially the simplest way to understand runners' preferences, Brooks and Hoka lead the way and account for almost half of sales. New Balance, On, and Saucony make up the next 29%, while Nike, which has pivoted away from in-store sales and de-emphasized running across the board, sat at less than 5%.
Yikes.
In speed, a category Nike running once dominated with its Vaporfly line that became the world's fastest road running shoe, Nike has been caught by Adidas and, in the lab, passed by Puma. In comfort and cushioning, concepts foreign to running shoes prior to Nike, it's been overtaken by the maximally supportive Hokas and corrective Brooks shoes, both popular in running, but also brand leaders for on-your-feet type jobs like hospital work.
Oh, right.
Even in unapologetically bold design, Nike's been passed by On running. A Swiss shoe recognizable for its cloud tech that's equally eye-catching and pleasingly comfortable.
Yeah.
The story...
It's such a sick piece of marketing when they have... You ever been in the stores where they have the spray-on shoe display? I saw one in China. It makes you want to buy, even if the shoe, like you're buying a non-spray-on shoe, but they've got the spray-on shoe display. It looks cool as shit. It makes you feel like, oh, this is an innovative company. They're cutting edge. They're doing some wild shit.
Of On's come up feels reminiscent to that of Nike's. Rather than using a waffle iron to create a one-of-a-kind tread, On's founder Oliver Bernard, a triathlete, couldn't find a shoe that would properly address some lingering Achilles pain, so he set out to create something new. In 2010, the concept of Cloud Tech was born when Bernard attached a bisected bit of garden hose to the heel of his shoe. Before deciding to build a brand around the idea, he took it to his sponsor, who ultimately...
It's like this. I don't know if you even got a video, but it's like there's a plastic outline of a foot, and they literally spray the shoe on, and the spray like hardens into the shoe, and it's like a perfectly molded shoe to that size. It's crazy. It's like the thinnest, lightest. So the shoes, I don't know if you can buy these exact ones. The shoes next to it aren't spray on, but like this piece of tech is so cool, it makes it seem.
Turn the idea down. The sponsor was Nike. Nike missed on and fell behind across the board in running because it had spent much of the last decade putting out fires. In 2004, Nike did something it hadn't done before. It brought in a CEO from outside the company, and it paid for that decision. While William Perez only lasted 2 years as CEO, it set Nike back. Data-driven rather than the gut feel, future-forward approach.
Fucking crazy to be a company firing on all cylinders, crushing, having a ton of talented executives on each for running or for, and then picking nobody internally and getting someone from SC Johnson. What a dog shit, stupid board. They must have had like an infinite number of super loyal Nike executives who had been there for 10, 20 years, built up from the fucking ground. That's crazy. That's so dumb.
The company, Perez focused his efforts on sales in the present rather than era-defining innovation. Replaced by Nike lifer Mark Parker, Nike would regain its bearings, but it'd have to navigate some scandal too. Tiger Woods' public marital issues in 2009, then Lance Armstrong's doping in 2013 put the giant in PR defense mode, a position difficult to innovate from. And even in the spaces they continue to push innovation, distance running in particular, scandal rocked the company. The immensely successful marathoner, then marathon coach Alberto Salazar, was so central to the Nike distance running project that he had a building named after him. But that changed first with allegations of his athletes doping, then an investigation into the issue that saw Salazar banned, and finally athlete allegations over abusive conduct from the disgraced coach from 2015 to 2019. At the same time, the company faced a sexual discrimination lawsuit alleging that the boys' club culture of the company had resulted in discrimination, retaliation, and unfair wages across sexes. The two scandals ultimately culminated with Parker stepping down as CEO. Weighed down by an increasingly tarnished reputation, Nike began looking backwards instead of forward, and again brought in leadership from outside the company. This time it was John Donahue at the helm, and with a mandate to build out the company's digital footprint, he played the hits, and at first it worked. Nike went direct to consumer right as COVID hit, and right as a much anticipated Michael Jordan documentary debuted during the pandemic, they pushed the Jordans and Air Force lines. Sales boomed for the moment, but innovation flatlined, relationships with shoe carriers and wholesalers soured, and Nike's ceded shelf space just as in-person shopping roared back to life. It's since navigated the company's worst day in 2024 as stocks dropped 20% in a single day, then reported its worst fall revenue in 2025 with an 11.5% year-over-year drop. Nike had bottomed out because in a business of storytelling, it had lost its own plot. It was no longer making shoes for the future, it was relying on those from the past. It was no longer producing an image or a product that people could trust. It was no longer the scrappy winner. It was the bloated institution so scared of failing. Never in its history has Nike felt like something of—
Yeah, but it's cool. Like, this is the kind of business stories I like because when they fuck up, they get punished by the market and people go buy something else. The ones that depress me are the ones where, yeah, they made the product shittier, they lost their way, and we all still have to buy it, and the prices are higher than ever. There's no other option in town. In fact, they've got regulatory capture. It's fucking that's the shitty ones. I actually am such, it's funny. I read this book Disney War recently for the for the thing. And it's really about these horrible executives, like these really petty people behind Disney's corporate struggles in like the late, the early 2000s. But I love the book. I was so fascinated by the book, and it reminds me of why I really loved business content and got into business content and been fascinated by business stories for a long time. But it's these eras where it's like the stakes are high financially, but not politically. And like when these guys fuck up or like they are so petty they lose the writer of Pocahontas or whatever, then they are punished. Like then they get bad movies and they get bad results, they get bad box office. It's just so frustrating to be in a world where that doesn't happen anymore.
The past until the present.
Damn, did Toyota sub? Okay, month one of, we're going for 10 years. We're going for 10 years. Toyota, you're locked in for 1. You can't quit now. If you get for 10, I will change the icon.
Athlete after athlete has turned away from the brand.
2036, the icon
but now
is
Donahue
yours.
is gone, and in his place is Elliot Hill, and he knows the company's story as well as anyone. Starting as an intern at Nike in 1988, there's company-wide hope that Hill can get Nike back to what it was best at. And so far, there's reason for some guarded optimism. The relaunch of ACG has been a shot in the arm, while Hill has pushed hard to get Nike back into the wholesale game and back on shelves.
Okay, smart.
Relationships are on the mend too, as the new CEO has taken off on business trip after business trip to mend relationships between some of the sport's biggest names and biggest brands to ensure they stay with the swoosh.
Okay.
Time will tell if these relationships can hold and if Hill can build back consumer trust that's waned over the past 10 years. But at its core, the company might be back, as it's finally finding its fight again. When we're putting these videos together...
Okay, well, this was 4 months ago, and they just had their worst results. And the stock dropped to the lowest it's been since 2014. But I think a turnaround take more time than that. It's not unreasonable. Maybe you could buy the dip on Nike, buy the swoosh. It just feels like the competition is so fierce. But I do think, you know what they really need is they need a real breakthrough athlete success story. Some unapologetically pro Nike athlete who's a true superstar. They need a Michael Jordan. That's kind of hard to find. I think it's me. That's why Nike, I want to pitch myself as the new superstar athlete to be the face of the brand. Okay, I've been working out, I've been hustling, and I got a couple layups last Sunday in park basketball. Sign me, we could turn this shit around. Huck's in chat. Huck's not gonna remember this story. You guys don't know Huck is a former StarCraft professional player for Team Liquid. And when I was writing for Team Liquid, one time I was at a StarCraft 2 tournament event, and they were having a foot race between the teams. It was like Team Liquid versus, I don't know, Cloud9 or something. They're like, we need a foot race. And then Huck came over to me and said, you should race with us. You look fast. And I felt so proud. And I've remembered that for 15 years. I don't know how many years that's been. Dude, that's probably 15 years. It was EG. Anyway, Huck, I'm just telling you, that's something that stuck with me. Okay? We had a foot race at like, I don't know, DreamHack or something. Did you win the race? That I don't remember. Honestly, I remembered more that I was being called fast. Do you know what I'm saying? No, you're saying so no. It's almost like I don't think the race happened. If I'm being honest, the way I remember it is I think we were like planning to do it, and then everyone just got drunk. No, I legitimately don't think the race happened. I think people just started drinking, but it was like a plan. We were like gonna do a foot race. Anyway, guys, that's the end of my stream tonight. Thank you for watching. I do have a presentation on Korea that I guess I'll do tomorrow, but there's been some updates. So, I don't have anything that would stop me from going live tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, I do like this 4:30 time more than 2:30 though. I might be sticking to that. 4:30 gives me a little more time to read and prep. 2:30 like is a real crunch right after working out. 4:30 I like. So unless you're absolutely we'll do Smallville tomorrow. I want to watch it again. So anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye, 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 and movie trailers. Yeah, there's one I really want to watch with you guys. See you. Goodbye.